Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tomato Sauce stream. Today, we got some interesting news. We got a new ban list announced and some skill changes. And we've been in this, this kind of, it's been a little bit dominated by one deck, right? This format we've been in. Some have taken to calling it a little bit tier 0-y, right? That being said, clearly we were going to address all of those problems, and we were going to very deliberately hit those cards and skills in such a way that would completely fix everything, right? Now, everyone, and I mean everyone, basically came to the conclusion we have to hit the skill in such a way where you don't allow people to use non-Gaia extra deck monsters in the deck, right? That was the one fundamental everyone agreed with, right? That the only argument that some people had there was like, let us use warriors so we can still play hero Gaia. I still don't think that would have been the correct decision. But other than that, everyone was agreed, right? Get rid of Gaia Metarian. Ideally, get rid of Warrior Metarian, right? Somehow, despite everyone being on the same page, Konami was not on the same page. And, I mean, there's a chance, right? There's a chance. Not a high chance, but there is a chance that the changes they've made have a astronomically huge difference, right? And that suddenly we don't just see top 8 being dominated by Gaia. There is a chance. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. If I was a betting man, I would not feel confident placing a bid on that. Let's put it that way. But let's see what we've got in chat. Let's see who we have here. So we have Ursus. Pyro stays winning. Yeah, Pyro is in an okay spot. I will say, though, that even though Pyro has an okay matchup into Gaia, I still wouldn't say Pyro has a dominant matchup into Gaia, right? So there's that. Duke wants to change my sleeves, apparently. We'll talk about that in a minute. We got Alpacalyptic. Hear me out. Sea Serpents with Kong tier 1. I don't think that's going to be the case, but you never know. We have Bronze Shine. Hello, hello. We have Ray. Not enough. We have ICU, I4CU with the first. Welcome on him. So meta tier list, tier 1, Gaia, Metarian. Tier 2, Gaia Hero. Tier 3, Gaia Pure. Ironically, Pure Gaia, I actually think got hit quite hard. Which is really funny. So, like, the deck, everyone was like, oh, don't worry, Pure Gaia will still be a thing. That deck actually got hit pretty rough. So, we have Hikari in the chat. Hello, Hikari. Gunkin Suship Shari. Finally, the tyranny of rush duel traps is over. Yes, we had too many traps. The number of traps in this game was too damn high, and we had to definitely limit all of them down to 1 so that we can have no interaction whatsoever. That is the Konami way. Hashtag not enough. We have Dwan on a 5-stream streak. Hello, Dwan. We have some changes of all time. True. Hello, CZ. Gotta get rid of these battle traps that never make it into the battle phase. True. Pyro better than Psychic. I think there is an argument there. I think Pyro has definitely shown that it is a real deck. But I do think as well, if the meta leans away... So this is the constant conundrum of Pyro. If the meta is in a state where everyone is slapping everything in attack mode, Pyro feels pretty good. So as long as Gaia remains relevant, Pyro's going to feel like okay, right? The second that Gaia is no longer the best deck, I feel like Pyro will also lose a lot of its bite, because suddenly you go back to not being able to deal with set 3. And that really sucks. So, it's an interesting one. I would love to, but currently not. Maybe in the future. Free stream streak from ICU. Woohoo. When Pyromax and Fusions, I mean, that would be a while off yet. It's better versus Gaia than Psychics, therefore it's better right now. True. Not soon. Had a feeling Dragons would avoid the ban list. I mean, they did get like a slap on the wrist, right? Because now Phoenix Dragon is limit 1, and now like they've moved negate attack to 1 as well. So like it is a hit. It's not a big hit, but it's a hit. They buffed the rush-ons. That's what the game needed. True. Why event care to balance the bullshit gameplay? I mean, Kimfriend has some like really weird takes sometimes. We have Gelato Gaga. Hello. We have Afri. This ban list surely kill Gaia Matarin. Surely it must, right? Surely it must. I mean, great before the fusions and maximum. Oh, we work what we have here. Bronzong is still me. Aha. Hello, Duke. Dr. Stupid says, it's okay. A cyber skill was buffed to search fusion, so the future cyber fusions will surely save us from Gaia. I don't think so somehow. Yeah, that's so funny. British man molding stream. We're not necessarily going to be like molding, but we're definitely going to be discussing. Hello, Neo. I'm uninstalling CO and Cyberse fusions come out, Lamau. I mean, I would not be surprised if a lot of people put down the game, either temporarily or permanently because of these changes. I would not be surprised whatsoever. They killed Torero, my boy. The thing is, I can't even think of a deck you would play Torero in that doesn't already play Limit 3s. You can even play Torero in Sea Serpents, but you already have a Limit 3 in that deck. It's so weird. I used Trap Hole to counter Gaia recently, but some people can play around it. Yes, the biggest issue with Trap Hole is that your opponent will know it's there, so they can just, like, I'm just not going to summon my Gaia. Which can, like, stall out the game, which is good, because you're not just going to die instantly, but, you know. Torero in Spellcasters. Hey, Tomato, don't forget my Ma. Yeah, your Ma? I meant sleeve. Yeah, that's fine. You have to remind us when we're actually in the game, because we're not actually in the game at the moment, right? Torero mentions a trap in its text. Deserved hit. True. What's that number? That is the duel room. That is our duel room code. Not weird takes, just annoying and often stupid takes. That's why come to a rush stream and complain. True. Where is core and rush? I have no idea what that means. Maybe Vulcan with Torero? I guess. But, like, unhitting Vulcan is already a weird choice, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see what we actually do with that. I never thought that the Go Rush Duel, Kim Friend loves it. I'm so happy. Yeah, Kim Friend is a big Rush Duel fan. He's a massive Rush Duel fan. Very important to keep that going. Is that Quirks? Hello, Quirks. Welcome to the stream. So I guess we will probably hop over here. And so the first thing we should do is make sure everything's working correctly. And we're going to want to make sure this is working. Wow, there we go. This is what we need. So we do have our duel room code on the screen. If anyone wants to hop in, it is a unlimited duel room. So please follow the new ban list if you're going to play in there. Obviously, if you guys want to just play against each other, that's fine. We will join in once we have finished yapping. So I guess the elephant in the room. The speed and rush format, forbidden/limited list, and skill balance update. King's Majesty from 3 to 1. So putting this to 1 is pretty big. So first off, if this was the only thing put to 1, this would actually be a buff, right? Because now every deck could play King's Majesty. But because we put it next to negate attack, now you have to be like, well, I want to play negate attack, right? King's Majesty isn't necessarily better than negate attack, even if you can combine it with another legend trap. But theoretically, if you're not playing limit ones, right, and you don't care about negate attack, you can just play a King's Majesty package. Now, Call of the Earthbound is sort of King's Majesty, like, depending on how you think of it, right? Call of the Earthbound is a lot better if we have defensive monsters that we're quite happy to move our opponent's attacks into. King's Majesty is better if we just want to flat out stop an attack, keep all of our monsters, but does require a small package to run alongside it. So, if you're okay with not playing NA, this is kind of a buff. right? You now get to play Majesty, you now get to play Call of the Earthbound. So that's something. But all of these being limit 1 means we cannot stack these anymore, which kind of sucks, right? I actually think the least offensive thing that the Gaia deck did was dump Goat so you can King's Majesty. Just because giving another defensive option is always nice. And like I said in the video we put out, King's Majesty being in the deck did not suddenly make Gaia feel like it was a stall deck, right? King's Majesty is not a, I'm going to try and, like, prolong the game as long as possible. It is a, oh god, I don't want to die to a one-shot OTK move. King's Majesty saved me, right? So, it's a bit disheartening to see King's Majesty go to 1, but I understand why it is, right? I mean, is limiting Vulcan even actually doing anything? I assume you mean unlimiting. Not right now, realistically. Thanks for unbanning Vulcan, Konami. Not like it died to a sure start or anything. True. Go Cyber Dragon Core. Soon, one of these days. I'll be back later to play if I can. Well, thanks for stopping by for now, Ursus. Hopefully we'll see you again later. Dragon with Negate Attack. So you can play dragons and use Negate Attack, but you'll just lose the Phoenix Dragon, right? Hey, Tomato, are there 2 copies of Negate Attack? No. There are not 2 copies of Negate Attack. Why are we saying that? So the skills indicate that we get one of each, one of or both of the Cyberse fusions, and the maximum Ragnarok change could mean we get Progrigger or Siege Croton. I mean, potentially. I mean, we'll talk about that when we get to it, right? I pretty much dumped NA as soon as Gaia Mataran became a thing anyway. So NA is just, it's one of those things where NA is still, like if we go to the top 100 lists, right? Number 1 in the world, NA. Number 2 in the world, NA. Number 3 in the world, NA. Number 4 in the world, NA. Number 5 in the world, NA. Number 6 in the world, NA. Number 7 in the world, NA. Number 8 in the... Well, we don't have 8. Number 9 in the world, NA. Number 10 in the world, NA. Like, you can scroll down as much as you want. Literally everyone is on NA. There might be, like, 1 or 2 non-NAs total in the top 100. So, even if, like, we're quite happy to not play NA, NA is still probably the best card in the game. So, getting rid of NA from a lot of these decks is a big deal. But, in an ideal world, you would say the absolute best decks can't play the best trap, but all of the not best deck can run this trap. That's kind of a good way to balance it. So, like, I like the idea behind this. I just hate the execution, right? Are this limited helpful to the decks? So, NA to 1 basically just shunts everything else that's on limit 1 out of your deck. So, if you now have to play a different limit 1, so for example, Type Change Beam. If you want to play Type Change Beam, you now can't play NA. That is like the big difference here, right? Time to Widespread. I mean, it literally could be. Widespread could be the go-to now. Also, hello, Yamas. The thing is as well, again, if you're playing a non-NA deck, right? Or if you're playing a deck that doesn't need any of the other limit 1s, you could now just play King's Majesty and Widespread or Trap Hole and have an extra defensive option. So when you think about it like that, there is now arguably more defensive options for decks that don't run limit 1s. So that's a cool idea, right? So that would mean, I mean, what is locked into using limit 1s right now? Like if we hop over here, let's change this slightly. So we have Sword and Shield. No one's really using this. Like Celestial Warriors was kind of using this. Other than that, it doesn't really matter. Blue Eyes doesn't matter. Dark Magician doesn't matter. No one's even playing Woolly Wonderland, so it's irrelevant. No one plays this. Rise Terror Secure is good into like very specific decks, and it's not really seeing much play at the moment. So Dragons are the first one that like will 100% of the time be running this limit 1 card, right? Conqueror of Champions, again, 100% of the time will be running this limit 1 card. Now, you could remove both of these cards, right? We could see Phoenix Dragon get taken out of Dragons. That won't hurt the deck too bad. Gaia Conqueror of Champions is a really big tool for Gaia, though. So, having this removed does have a big impact. Now, some people, I think, will opt to drop the Gaia Conqueror of Champions and some people will stick with it. Personally, I think sticking with it is probably the correct choice, just because being able to threaten 3200 lethal direct attack is really powerful. Like, just having that in the back pocket is unbelievably good. Whereas, like, Phoenix Dragon is nice, it's an extra consistency tool, but you don't need it. You don't need it, right? But again, you don't need Conqueror of Champions. You don't technically need it. So you could just get rid of this and just use the negate attack anyway. Rush Horn actually gets screwed the most, right? Because if you're playing, like, Cyber Dragon, you now lose your Rush Horn. Or you lose your negate attack, right? If you're playing the Join Tech, Rush On or Push Rush, whatever it's called, once again, you lose your negate attack. Just get fucked, I guess. Which is not ideal, not ideal. It's weird to limit Majesty because of the skill, though, instead of, you know, changing the skill that dumps go into the graveyard. I mean, we would have really liked to see a lot of changes to that skill, but obviously we didn't get any of them. It's annoying when they limit it, and with that, trap destruction immune monsters will rise. I mean, that is a good thing, because the more we have trap immune monsters, the more traps we can get that destroy monsters, right? So it kind of works out, because we don't... There's no point, for example, in right now, you do not get a lot of value out of playing something like Metagears, right? Because no one's playing Widespread, and nothing else destroys monsters, so Metagears doesn't really do anything right now. Pyro Tier 1. Hello, by the way, Quantum Cubes. Welcome on in. Pyro Tier 1. I don't think Pyro is going to suddenly be Tier 1. I still think the best decks are going to be Gaia, right? I think because Gaia is still going to be around, and it's still going to be a strong pick, that will keep Pyro around, right? And because Type Change Beam is now limit 1, Pyro won't get blown out of the water probably ever now. I don't see people playing Type Change Beam over Conqueror or Negate Attack, but maybe they will. Obviously, you know, like the pure Matarian decks that are going around that still use the new skill will still be probably playing Type Change Beam. But other than that, you shouldn't have to worry about it too much. But then, if the pure Matarian builds are still going around, they'll have to find the one of TCB, but then that will still absolutely destroy the Pyro players. I would play Widespread in Pyro just to play Earthbound. Well, you could also play Trap Hole, but Trap Hole is also completely fine in Pyro, in my opinion. Decks that can now no longer run Limit 1 traps if they use the Archetype Limit 1. Guy, Matarian Dragon, Sea Serpent. Oh, that's the point. We haven't got the Sea Serpent one on here. Why don't we have that on here? What's the Sea Serpent spell called? It's, Why can't I remember what the Sea Serpent spell is called? We'll find it. We'll find it. Don't worry. Sea Serpent. Grand Extreme. Thank you. Thank you. We got there in the end. So we'll jump over to here. Make sure this is on the list. Surprised we didn't already have it on it, to be honest. But yeah, Grand Extreme. We did forget about that one. Who cares Pyro? Who cares Rush? True. Grand Extreme. We know that you love Rush, mate. No need to be shy. Is it me, or does the ban list not change Gaia being tier 0? Hello, Kasara. The ban list hurts the deck. It does not fix the issues. I would still expect this deck to be the best deck. Whether or not it's still going to be tier 0, or whether or not it's just going to be the undisputed best deck, is up for debate still, I think. Pyro doesn't care about Widespread either. True. Yeah, they are banning more. Grand Extreme. Alright, so moving on from that. So we got these 3 hit. Type Change Beam got hit. So Type Change Beam, this is a change that we should have had so long ago. This is a very, very necessary hit. Now, for me, this means that Matarian, like the solo Matarian deck, should be a lot weaker. But every now and then, you're still going to get absolutely sacked by this card, and it's going to absolutely suck. But I don't know. Would it? You guys in chat, let me know. Would you still play the pure Matarian build with only 1 Type Change Beam? Because this now turns a lot of the power level of your deck down. Because you can no longer do the double shuffle back. You can no longer do the free pop with Vritra. You can no longer do the OTK with Ashura. Like, this turns off a lot. I still think the Matarian fusions are just good on their own. Like, you don't need TCB for that deck to be good. But for the most part, the way that the pure Matarian deck has played is it is an OTK deck, right? It is 90% of the time, the strategy is kill your opponent in one turn. 10% of the time, it's, oh, I don't need this, I'm just going to win the game anyway, right? So, like, this is a big hit to that deck. Yes, yeah, nope. Pure Matarian with the Gaia skill, yeah. Hello, Parker, by the way. Hello, hello. For me, no, that makes the deck weak. Well, we're getting we got 3 yeahs and a no, so it seems like yeah is going to be the overall there, especially if Pyro is more popular. I mean, you're not wrong. Like, if Pyro does actually become... The thing is, right, again, Pyro... I don't want to sell Pyro short. Pyro has an okay matchup into Gaia, but it was never like a... Oh, Pyro's always going to beat Gaia, right? It was never like an 80% win rate, right? It was always like kind of... like 60% win rate. Like, it had a advantageous matchup, but it wasn't like unbelievably dominant, right? But Type Change Beam is definitely going to be really good into that. Then we go to our Limit 3s, and we got Battle Tested. I think a lot of people expected this. There's not a ton to say about this. Putting a card to Limit 3 in Gaia dissuades you from using the other Limit 3s, right? So Secret Order and Star Restart are the two big ones. Which is a big deal. It is a big deal. That being said, people have already been playing 1 and 2 Battle Tested, so I don't even think this is, like, as big a deal as some people might think it is. Like, it does matter. It definitely does matter, but I don't think this, like, breaks the deck whatsoever, right? There have been builds that just do not play those cards and have been completely fine, right? Pyro, in reality, is just fine, and I imagine Dragons will see more play. Anyway, I mean, potentially. Imagine Dragons. Haha, that's the band! So then we have Siesta Terrero. Siesta Terrero got hit. So in my opinion, Siesta Terrero's main goal, the main reason to play Siesta Terrero, was to put your fusion monsters back in your extra deck when you were playing Gaia, right? So you could still use it to flip monsters down and pierce over them. That's all fine and dandy. That's still a good effect. But primarily, the main reason you wanted this was because it was a non-spell trap that put monsters from your graveyard back into your deck. So you could just now play TSA, and it basically does the same thing. We're basically now forced to cut some spell traps from the deck either way. Whether or not that's, you know, Secret Order, whether or not that's Star Restart, whether or not you're just cutting out the fusions entirely. There is something coming out of the deck, and therefore you've got room for the TSA now. So Siesta Terrero to 3, I think is, like, it's a fine hit. I don't think it, like, changes a lot, realistically. Looks like Matarian Gaia is not going anywhere. Top 100, 100, and still legal is crazy. Yes. So unlimits Gaia. In fact, before we go over all the unlimits, let's go back and take a look at this. So if we take a look at the rank 1 deck, so this is Moki Moki. He was a Worlds competitor, but he did not make it to the second stage. I think Moki Moki finished, like, second to last at Worlds, but still, first place in the Goha Rush Festival, right? So these are all Limit 3 now. So that means all the other Limit 3s go. So he can no longer play Secret Order. He can no longer play Ghost Cyclone. Okay, so Ghost Cyclone you just replace with another Dragon's Inferno. Not a lot changes there, right? So that change doesn't matter. We can no longer play King's Majesty or Goat. That's fine, right? Like, realistically, a lot of lists, like, even if you scroll down the rest of the top 100, a lot of lists have already cut these. So, like, it hurts, and it's definitely, you're going to feel the fact that King's Majesty isn't there, but, like, I don't think it, like, suddenly drops the deck down, like, a whole tier or anything. And then you just swap out Negate Attack for the Trap, so, like, Trap Hole. Let's say Trap Hole for now. Siesta Terrero comes out, which, again, isn't the end of the world. You probably just replace this with, like, Gargoyle. We replace the Trap with TSA. We could replace Secret Order with another TSA. And then, bam, the deck, with very minimal changes, is basically untouched. Like, we've lost a defensive option, which sucks, right? I'm not going to pretend it doesn't suck. But any deck that runs Limit 1s is going to lose this. Any deck playing Negate Attack is not going to have access to this. Like, that's not a big deal. The Legend Trap change, again, is a big change. But, like, you still have a Legend Trap. Legend Traps are still ridiculous, right? I don't know. I feel like this deck although technically there is significant changes, we're losing, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Like, at least 3 of those cards have an immediate, easy just replacement that basically leaves the deck exactly as it was. So, I don't know. They needed to be another Gaia limit 3 and a skill hit. I think just the skill hit was the most important thing. We just didn't get it. Like, all we needed was, please do not play Ashura Star in Gaia. Like, that fundamentally was the big difference we needed. And we didn't get it. And that kind of sucks. It doesn't change a lot, but it's funny that Pure Gaia was the only version actually somewhat hit. I mean, like, everything got somewhat hit. The issue is they didn't get hit enough, right? So like, this was the rank 2 list, right? This is kind of the more all-in on the Matarian heavy side of the deck, right? Because we're playing a massive Matarian package. So this deck's already only playing the 2 battle-tested. So in terms of limit 3s, we have to lose a Starry Star. Or we have to lose a battle-tested. Lose 1 card because of that. We drop probably... I mean, we could drop all of this, right? We could even just stick with Beam. We could go Beam, swap out Negate Attack for a Legend, swap out King's Majesty for, I don't know, a TSA. And then, like, we could... The decision here is going to be, do you play TCB or Conqueror of Champions? I think, realistically, different people will choose different things. If we're still going for the heavy Matarian build, some players might opt to keep the TCB, just because, like, getting a free win off of drawing this card is really attractive. But I personally think Conqueror Champions is just really, really nice. Just having a 3200 direct attack in the back pocket that also can be a back row pop is really, really strong. But type change Beam sort of just reads win the game. So the skill not being hit is actually baffling. Exactly. That's exactly my opinion. Hey Tomato, do you know I'm part of second round of Go Rush Festival? How do I know I'm part of second Go Rush Festival? What do you mean, how do I know if I'm part of it? Because the GRF has already ended, Duke. Oh, I forgot Starry Start was limit 3. Yes. I wonder what the best Gaia Matarian build will be now. Well, like we say, both of these builds are hit, but they're not hit very much. So you can still play the Zero Fusion build, and you can still play the Matarian Heavy build. Like, both of these are still very viable. Which one's better? I mean, this was first and second place, and they're both playing quite different lists. So, as long as you've got the skill, it's fine. How can you see what your rank was? So you have to go to your... Where you would queue up to play GRF, you just go there and it'll tell you what your rank is. But yeah, like we say, I don't... These changes were not significant enough. I mean, does this even affect anything else? We've already mentioned how, like, this kind of affects dragons. I mean, yeah, like, Sea Serpents got hit. Dark Magician got hit, I guess. Like, Matarian was probably the big one, but Matarian is, like, such a toxic deck anyway. Or at least, like, Beam Ashura Star is so toxic. Hello, Draco Kid. Welcome, welcome. If you want Gaia to die, and you know it, spam Konami's inquiries. The thing is, they must know, right? Like, they obviously have the data telling them that this deck is disgusting. And yet, like, they willfully ignored it. Like, maybe, we're just doomsaying. Maybe these changes are enough to actually hit the deck significantly enough that it isn't the only deck going around. Maybe. I'm not convinced that's going to be the case, though. I'm not convinced. Hey, Tomato, have you completed 7 stage missions? No. No, I've very much not done that. Gaia will be around as best deck till people get sick of it and old it less. Then Konami think it was their changes that lowered Gaia. Yeah, generally what happens is when the meta's been going on for a certain amount of time, people get bored and start memeing. And then enough people do that, and then my spreadsheet gets filled with garbage. Which is kind of funny when it happens, but I don't know if that's going to happen sooner or later, especially since people are going to want to test these changes. I'm hoping it's enough to close the gap noticeably. I mean, again, I hope so. I'm optimistic that that might happen. I almost think what's actually going to happen is that people are going to look at this list, go, this is a joke, quit the game, or like temporarily put the game down. And then, like, that in itself might be enough to like make Konami make like an emergency change. They're like, what do you mean only half as many people signed in this week? I mean, to be fair though, I don't even know if they care, because we have no like metrics, but I would assume that the Rush player base is probably around 1/10 of the side of the Speed player base, right? I don't think that they are comparable. I think the Rush player base is going to be a lot smaller than the Speed player base. So even if all of the Rush players stop playing, it would probably like barely register. Rush gone now, we can move to Speed. But the thing is though, Speed is also not in a good spot, right? Like, Speed is also in a really shit place right now. So it was, Speed is so crap right now, let's play Rush. So we actually got a bunch more people coming over to the Rush side of the game, even though it was a tier 0 format, right? But now it's like, where do we go now? Like, are people just gonna play Master Duel? Like, looks like we are about to be hit with ads as well, which is kind of a shame. For those, Forbid only sucks for this. I think Matari and Gaia could potentially end up falling off because it has so many hits, but Gaia will still be the top tier deck. I don't see it being that way. Right? Like, the only part of the Matarian strategy that got hit, really, was Type Change Beam. And the deck was performing... Like, if we go and take a look, right? So, everything apart from these two, everything above these two, was all before people started playing Type Change Beam in every single list, right? So, pre-Type Change Beam, we still were seeing Gaia Matarian winning everything. Now, some of these lists did play Type Change Beam, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that none of them did, but not all of them, right? It was more of a tech card. You'd see the odd one playing like one copy. I think 2 of the winning lists played Type Change Beam. So, if we, again, take out specifically the Matarian bits, it's still the best deck, right? As in, like, the Matarian hits, the hits to the Matarian part of the deck. When will Dragius not be part of the Forbidden Cards? Ooh, never. Probably. They have your money. That's all that matters. True. Please just... I mean, don't worry about Kim Friend. You know. Gaia Matarian can't run Restart, Cyclone, Majesty. At best, they're running Trap Hole alongside the Fusion. They can't use Torero either, but Essel exists, Geiger exists, Matarian stuff is still usable. It's just less consistent. Yes. I mean, the big change is Negate Attack's gone. But that is true for all Gaia lists, right? That's not a Gaia Matarian thing. That is a Gaia thing. Speed is good, but it started to bore me. I think Speed is in a weird spot right now because so we have a solo tier 1 deck again, that being Salads, right? Salads is like, it's kind of fun, but its turns can take a long time, it's overly dominant, it's really hard for any other decks to keep up. Then you look at like the next best decks, and one of them just like tributes your guys off the board and negates everything. One of them just plays a bunch of floodgates. And then what was the other deck that was currently in tier 2? Oh, Gemini's. I mean, Gemini's is a cool deck, I guess. I haven't like seen enough of Gemini's to know like how crazy it is. Tier 3, in my opinion, this is where, I mean, Lyrilusk is still here. Why is Lyrilusk still a tier deck, bro? Get this deck. Get this deck going. But yeah, I don't think Speed is in a good spot right now. The Salamangreat nerfs we got are like, okay, that might bring this down to here, and then we'll have like 4 tier 1 decks, which is kind of healthy. The downside is that one of those decks just plays a shit ton of floodgates, and one of those decks can out your board by super well, I guess this one's super polys. Predator plants, there's so many ways just to deal with your crap by like tributing over it, and it's just not great. So I don't think that speed is in a good spot right now. And I think that goes to show the fact that a lot of people did come over to rush, right? 3 different maximums and ladder. Igdrago, Overlord, Vulcan Bros, let's go. Did the new ban list make the game good again? So yes, wait, all the Yu-Gi-Oh formats are shit right now. I didn't notice. Gaia Matarian still seems very good in my opinion, but I haven't tested it yet. Yeah, that's what we're going to do today, hopefully. We have Elmaz. Hello, Elmaz. Nah, Physical Rush is fun. Physical Rush has its own problems, but overall, I would say Physical Rush is still very, very fun. It's not perfect. It is not perfect. It has issues, but it is better than every other format I'm playing at the moment. Let's put it that way. That's the only good one. Lamau. I need more 7 support. Spellcasters have been out of the meta for too damn long. True. 7's Gears when, Konami? We're not going to get 7's Gears. We're not getting 7's Gears. We don't want that. No one wants that. Heroes getting unlimited skill usage. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Geminis are fine, honestly. I do think they are too hyped, but they have value. They can do stuff. I forgot. Can't wait for that Worm Unlimit. It's a good Miller for Secret Order. Yes, Ranked Referee. Hello. Some of these changes are really cool. Like you say, having Tarask Unlimited is cool, right? It probably shouldn't have been limited from the get-go. I don't think, though, it's suddenly going to make like Worms really, really good, right? What's the issue in Physical Rush? So Physical Rush has a problem where the meta keeps accelerating and accelerating and accelerating, right? We keep power creeping, and we keep getting cards that turn off all your back row, right? So we have Giant Trunade, we have Heavy Storm, we have Jinzo, we have... I mean, there's a decent amount of, like, fusion monsters now that pop the opponent's entire back row. There's a new Wind Warrior. I say new. There is a Wind Warrior monster that's a fusion monster that you summon it wipes out your opponent's entire back row. There are a lot of cards now that just basically get to sit there and go, I'm going to make it so you can't interact with me, and then I'm going to try and OTK you. And those things specifically suck, right? Because who wants... It feels like back in the day when we had, like, Cyberstein OTK, if anyone, like, remembers that back in... I don't know, like 20 years ago. And the whole point was you would play Giant Trunade at 3 copies, back when you could play it at 3, play Heavy Storm, and you would just do that, and then you'd summon out Cyberstein, pay your 5,000, summon out like a Cyber Twin, or whatever, double its attack with Limiter Removal or Megamorph, and then just OTK your opponent. And the reason that was really unfun was because you had the Giant Trunade, you had the Heavy Storm, right? You could get rid of all your opponent's ways to stop themselves from dying, and you basically said, alright, you have to have Karibo in your hand, or you're dead. Right? And that sucks. That sucks, right? You never want to... In a deck that has the capability to just one-shot you out of the game, you don't want to give them a 1-card turn off all your back row. That sucks. That is really bad design. So you either hit the cards that do that, or you hit the cards that give you the OTK. The issue being that some of the OTKs like aren't very... like fun. Like, alright, so for example, there's a Dark Galaxy card. Let me see if I can find it. It's a Dark Galaxy Fusion. It's one of Zuijo's cards. It's a fusion. Which one is it? It's got a very... This one. So Dark Matter Transcend Dragon, right? So this is a newish card. So this is made using Dark Matter and Dragon, Contact, Dark Matter Wyvern, and any normal monster, right? So this, in itself, this is not hard to get out. Basically, if you have this in graveyard, you summon this with a 1 tribute, that brings this back from the graveyard, and then any normal monster, right? You summon it with Contact Fusion, so you do not need a fusion spell. You just need these monsters. So all you need is a normal monster, you need Contact Dark Matter Wyvern, you need a Tribute Fodder, and you need this to be in your graveyard, and then you make this. So this is, during your main phase that you special summon this card, each player sends the top 3 cards of the deck to the graveyard. This turn, this card can make up to 3 attacks on monsters and inflicts piercing damage. So this guy has 3,500 attack. He's a triple attack pierce attacker. So if you just use Giant Trunade, and then just Tribute Summon out Contact Dark Matter Wyvern, you just get this and you kill your opponent. And the game's over. And your opponent can't interact with it, because we don't have hand traps. We don't have any way to interact with a spell card. We don't have, like, spell negates, right? We don't have any negates. So if this happens, you're just dead. There's no counterplay. Get fucked, right? So this is what I mean, cards like this, when I say the physical game isn't perfect. Now, to be fair, you do have to still find your one-off spell card. So it's not like, oh, guaranteed, you're always going to do this every duel. But whenever you lose to this combo, like this plus, like, you know, Heavy Storm, this plus like a Jinzo, I guess, could come out afterwards, but that's not a very good strategy, realistically, because you can get interrupted on the summon. This plus Giant Trunade, Harpy's Feather Duster now. That just feels like ass, right? And this isn't the only card that can OTK your opponent out of nowhere, but this is probably the most egregious because Dark Matter Dragon and Contact Dark Matter Wyvern are seeing, like, play, just getting splashed in lots of other decks, which is where I think the Duel Links skills are really helpful, because they lock you into specific types, so you can't do stuff like, I'm just going to put my random Dark Galaxy cards in my Magnet Warrior deck, or in my Hero deck, or in my X deck, and just have this, like, small package that just OTKs you for free. Smash. Trina was bad speed, 4-card combo, that's said. Gaia Vulcan, Meteor 0. In physical rushes at 3 or 5 monster zones, it's 3. It is 3. Trunade in rush physical is really broken. Smash. Okay. Mass removal is always an issue in Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially when it's 1 card no cost. Oh god, this monster is bonkers. Exactly, that's strong. Nightmare card. Yes, essentially a 2.5 card combo to get this out, or 3.5. Konami really can't help themselves, Adding hand traps into rush could be very controversial. I think the thing is, we don't want hand traps. We just want to not power creep into oblivion, which is a problem that, you know, all formats of Yu-Gi-Oh! Have had, right? I remember getting OTK'd by it in Mono's tournament. Yeah, I got OTK'd by this in Mono's tournament. It doesn't feel good, does it? It just feels really bad. The worst part is, I got OTK'd with this when I had 3 trap cards down that would stop myself from getting OTK'd, but Giant Trunade just got rid of my entire back row, so I just died anyway. It was like, I'm playing the cards to counter this. I have the cards to counter this. They are all on the field, ready to counter this. And Giant Trunade says no. And it's like, ah! The lack of chains in Rush is one of the things that puts me off of it. I mean, that is absolutely fair enough. I think not having chains is beneficial for learning the game. It's beneficial for getting new people into the game. I don't even dislike it from a competitive standpoint, but you have to design cards around the fact that we don't have chaining, right? You have to... If you're not designing the cards with restrictions in place to play around that, then you're just ignoring it. And if you're ignoring it, that's not healthy, right? Always got to bring their 12-year-old cousins to the card design division. They should add that to Duel Links. Definitely is the current design philosophy. I mean, you're not wrong. And it's Contact Fusion 2, make it even more broken. Aren't you planning to do Physical Rush Duel Tomato? I mean, I play Physical Rush tournaments every week. So Monosync runs Physical Rush tournaments. He ran one yesterday, which I did up winning. So I won a physical. We run an OCG on EDO Pro tournament yesterday, which was, we had a lot of fun. We played heroes. We had a good time. We had kind of a blessed run. So I can't be like, I outplayed everyone. No, we got kind of lucky. We'd never played against the decks that hard counter us, so we got a very kind of free run the whole way through. 12k life points rush, fuck it. I mean, unironically, I actually think increasing the amount of life points is better for the game. Unironically, I would actually put physical up to 10, maybe 12k. Put Duel Links up to 8, maybe 10k. Unironically, I think that would be good for the game. Karibo hand traps would be okay in Rush, I think. I think you'd have to be very, very careful, because you can very suddenly have... you gotta remember, back in the day, Karibo was the only hand trap. Then, there was... I'm trying to think if there was any other before Effect Veiler, and... So it was Crow, Effect Veiler, and Battle Fader were the next 3 that came out. And then Gauze a little bit after. But those kind of cards I don't think are good. We don't want Crow, we don't want Effect Veiler, we don't want Battle Fader. We don't want any of that. But like just like a Karibo type effect, I wouldn't be like opposed to. It's not like Rush Duel anymore. It's more like a Raid Duel. I mean, kind. I mean, that's just power creep. That's just power creep. This card looks like it was made by a kid who kept losing all of the time to better players and wanted to win too easily. So what it is really, this card is an anime card. They wanted a big, scary boss monster to be in, you know, main character deck that wants to absolutely wreck, you know, the protagonist, right? That's what this was meant to be. And then, you know, the main character uses like skill and luck and has a really hype moment to defeat this thing. I don't trust Konami to keep it tame. They put hand traps in. If they put hand traps in Rush, yeah, that's kind of how I feel as well. Hello, Barox. Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Dinosaur Wing. Dinosaur Wing, unfortunately, is benched. He's not going to be back in the main party probably ever again, unfortunately. I know, right? Does Amazon S Swords Woman exist in Rush? No, she does not. Did you improve your OCG Rush, Tomato? Did you improve your OCG Rush? What do you mean by improve? So humble. See, the fact that you choose your opponent's summons is the worst design flaw of that card. At least let the opponent choose. Yeah. Oh wait, it's level 5 or higher, so ASW wouldn't help. ASW. Amazon Swordswoman. Right. Okay. This card is literally Zuijo. I don't actually remember if Zuijo used this card. I think this was actually used by Dark Meister. To try and avoid spoilers, I'm going to use the name Dark Meister. I think Gauze like card would be nice. Maybe one that just summons itself. The problem is, as soon as we start going down that road, it then gets very convoluted, right? But yeah, that was a little bit of a detour. Basically, my point of talking about that was Rush OCG is really, really fun right now. It's really, really cool. It still isn't perfect. There is not a perfect Yu-Gi-Oh format. There never will be. You have to choose like the lesser of evils, or in this case, it's like it's a good format, but it's not perfect, right? I assume that the decks haven't been posted yet from Mono, so I could just like post. I could just bring my deck up anyway. Right? I have the technology. So this is the deck that I was playing yesterday that I won the tournament with. So it's like Sparkman, Clayman, Burstinatrix, Avian. Everyone should already know all of them. We got Prisma. Prisma is actually really cool because you can use Prisma, target Shining Flare Wingman, turn Prisma into a Flame Wingman, and then fuse it off into Shining Flare Wingman, which is really funny and came up quite a lot. So that's absolutely insane. Then we have this. Pillage is really, really, really good as well. So this is if you have not drawn a card during the main phase. So if you played any other draw spells, you don't get to use this effect. But if you haven't, add a Star Restart or Star of the Beginning from your graveyard to your hand, then draw one card. So this is a +2, right? You use this, you add Star of the Beginning back to your hand, and then you get a free draw on top of that. Star of the Beginning is pay 500 life points, mill 2, then add a level 5 or lower normal monster or fusion or polymerization from your graveyard to your hand. So you get back Poly, or you get back any normal monster. So it's like just really, really good. And this is actually one of the better cards in the game at the moment. Then we got Card Defender. This card's also nuts. Like during your opponent's turn, spell traps on your field cannot be returned to the hand, deck, or extra deck by card effects. So this is one of the anti-giant True Nade cards. And we've been seeing a lot more of these. There are, again, a lot of these sort of cards coming out that do counter like True Nade. But again, they're not going to work against things like Heavy Storm, right? But this card also has, if you have a face-up Warrior-type normal monster or Warrior-type fusion, all face-up monsters on your field gain 1,000 attack. So just all your guys get 1,000 attack. So the only other card I'm going to talk about here really is Skyscraper, which gives you 1,000 attack during your turn. So basically, if you get out Card Defender and let's say like 2 Sparkman, and you have Skyscraper out, your Sparkmen are both getting plus 2,000 attack. So you have two 3,600 attack guys, and then Card Defender itself becomes 14, which is really good. And that's kind of how we like played a lot. We just kind of hit people to death with 3,600 attack Sparkmen. And it worked quite well. So, you know. A Maxi and Rush Rocket. Just had a look into OCG meta. Animagica, Delirium, Hero, Magnet Warrior, Execute, Cyberspice. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. Cool deck Tomato. Just really putting that cockroach everywhere just to have fun. I just have to ban it. I love the fusion card. I see you really crammed the main deck. I somehow always include 3 Hero Kid. Yeah, it's not easy to fit in, right? They didn't ban Maxi, they stopped supporting the speed duel format. Still waiting for the spell trap, can't be returned to extra deck part of those cards. Oh, right, they just killed it. Please explain to me why Konami put Earthbound to 1. So, Earthbound to 1, the logic is, if we hit these two, you can still play this. So, we're going to put them all to 1 so that people stop using trap cards. That's the logic, right? That is the logic. Right, they killed the game. Ray just chimes in. Just cock. Just throws the word cock in there. Don't need anything else. Said I enjoyed the Speed Duel cards. I really enjoyed the Speed Duel format. Speed Duel was really, really fun. I actually enjoyed Speed Duel the entire way through until they did the second Battle City one. The second Battle City one was crap. Everything until then was really, really fun. I really, really enjoyed it. The logic equals trap bad. Yeah, literally that. Literally that. But IRL Speed Duels is just DM and GX, so special summons are nowhere near as prevalent. I think they just wanted to reprint it, right? So you just get them in like a new rarity, right? I think that was actually it. The Dark Meister's identity was the Queen of Darkness. How am I supposed to use Phantom Pigeon deck now? No! I know, literally. Call of the Earthbound, right? This was seeing play in like hero lists to counter Matarion. So, like, this is, like, a nerf to some hero lists, I guess. Which sucks, right? But it is what it is. But I guess we'll go on to the Unlimits. So, again, Vulcan and Overlord is kind of weird. I don't know why Overlord still has the 3 here. I guess it's just not been updated yet. But this, to me... I said this in the video, but, like, they could be giving us the level 10 support. So, if we come over here... level 10. So we already have Heavenly Bliss, right? And the Heavenly series of cards are like a series of cards that specifically are like level 10 support. They're kind of all maximum support. So this is the first one that always comes to mind, Heavenly Gift. So this is send any number of monsters from your hand to the graveyard. If the total levels of those monsters sent to the graveyard is 10 or higher, draw 2. So what you almost always want to do with this is just send one level 10, right? And then it's just they discard 1, draw 2, which is generally a good effect. So this was my first thought when I saw Overlord and Vulcan both get Unlimit. And then you can also play some of these other ones. The other like good ones is Invitation, which is send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then if there are no monsters on your field, you can add a level 10 monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this is mill 3, add a card back if you've got no monsters. And again, you want to increase the number of level 10s in the deck because then this is more likely to be live, right? And then Heavenly Selection is like back row hate, but like this saw some on and off play. I don't think this matters too much. Exactly, my poor pigeon. I can't see Grand Harrier. I can see Grand Harrier crashing out, and the fact Matarion Gaia is still the best deck, and we know, and we now have even less traps. I mean, understandably, right? It sucks. It sucks so bad. Can't have shit in Rush Duel Links. Will you give us an update in Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush tomorrow? What do you mean by that, Duke? You're gonna have to be more like, you're gonna have to be more clear. You're gonna have to give me more information to go by because I don't understand what you're asking me there. I saw the ban list and questioned why Earthbound and Siesta's even on the list. So Siesta kind of makes sense. It was seeing play. Like the guy that got first place in the world is playing Siesta. It's only at 1, but anyone that's playing the Zero Fusion build, I don't know how many Zero Fusion builds actually made top 100, but Siesta was seeing a lot of play. Siesta is also, it's generally a really good card. There you go, his deck's playing 3. Like, it was seeing play in top 100. The decks that primarily are playing it, again, are the ones that aren't playing Fusion. So by hitting this, I guess you try to hit the Zero Fusion build. And it is generic, and it is still a good card. It's just it wasn't doing anything outside of this, right? That's why it seems a bit weird. The information of the anime. I want to see your summary on Go Rush anime tomorrow. It was fun. I will probably do something on that in the coming weeks. Basically, generally, my content is based around the life cycle of Rush Duel Links, right? So if there is less going on in Rush Duel Links because we don't have a new product in a while, I'm going to be filling that with like anime stuff. Like that's kind of the time I would do that. But I will always have Rush Duel Links as the focal point of the content. And then when that dies down, there isn't much going on. That's when I'll branch out and do anime stuff or OCG stuff, right? That's just how we're always going to be doing things. It's limited because it's getting reprinted. I mean, potentially it could be. Definitely could be. But yeah, I think there might be a skill coming out that helps out these two and lets them play together, because they're also both Yuga's maximums. So one thing we do have is Supreme Skystream Magnum Overlord is the only maximum from the 7's era that we don't have yet. So it's a bit weird we don't have this card yet. So we might be getting this. The only weird part is this card doesn't really play nicely with the other maximums that we've just unhit, right? But I could see this card coming, especially since we've just gotten some skills changes that buff Cyburst, right? So maybe we see like a maximum-ish focused set coming out, like as a mini box or something, and maybe they just slap this in. Because this card isn't actually very good. This card saw a little bit of play as like an OTK machine and didn't really see much else. But without very specific cards, you can't do the funny like OTKs with this card. But I mean, we'll talk about it, right? So first off, its attack is an abysmal 1900, but it has 3500 maximum attack, which is fine for maximums that aren't like 4K, I guess. So in maximum mode, you can send this face-up card from your field to the graveyard, special summon up to 2 monsters from your hand face up to your field, then destroy 1 spell trap on your opponent's field. So, as you can see, it's weird, right? This maximum monster kills itself and then brings back 2 other monsters. So, whereas most maximums, the strategy is get out the maximum, win the game, right? It's get it out, it on its own is going to bully your opponent until they die, right? This, however, is more a support maximum that wants to support your other cards. So I think what this card was used for originally was you would use it to summon out Mirror Innovator, and then use Mirror Innovator to shuffle this back into your deck. It's a level 10, so obviously it gets, you know, a massive load of attack, and it can get that plus 1000 and piercing, which is really, really nice. Complaining about Yu-Gi-Oh! As part of the experience? Exactly. I always find it weird when people do say things like, you know, if you don't like the game, stop playing, right? When people make, like, criticisms. Because in my opinion, if you didn't like the game, you wouldn't be criticizing it, right? Because you wouldn't care, you wouldn't be invested, so you just wouldn't say anything anyway. I think it's always a bit of a weird, take. But this card is, like, interesting. Then if we look at the left piece, it's while in maximum mode again, shuffle 1 monster from your graveyard into the deck, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the level of 1 monster in your graveyard times 100. Then if you inflicted damage to your opponent's effect, you can add that monster to your hand. So this gets you a card back to your hand, which is nice, right? Because this lets you summon 2 monsters from your hand. So basically use this to put a card into your hand, and then you can use that as one of the 2 summons that you summon off of, you know, the middle piece, right? And then the last piece, R, is this card loses 1000 attack. This turn, it cannot attack directly, but it can attack all of your opponent's monsters once each, and it inflicts piercing. So this goes down to 2500 attack, but it can now attack 3 times and has piercing, which is, like, okay. But, like, most of the time, the way you would play this card, and the way this, like, saw a lot of success, or, like, the most success, was that you would use it to summon out a Great Maju Gazette. So people should already know what Great Maju Gazette is. But Great Maju Gazette, this card gains attack equal to the original attack of one monster tributed for the summon times 2, right? So you would basically get this out as like a 7,000 guy if you tributed the Magnum Overlord, and that was kind of like the big thing. Because Great Maju Gazette only really saw play in maximum decks where you could tribute maximums, but that was kind of it. We're complaining because we care about the game. Hello, Mono! Hello, Mono. Mono, by the way, everyone should play Mono's OCG tournaments. They're really fun. We're going to give a shout out to MonoSync, because Mono is bae. Okay? Everyone should go and give Mono a follow. Everyone should play in Mono's weekly Duel Links tournaments, and everyone should play in Mono's OCG tournaments. I believe there's an OCG tournament on today, right? Has that been posted? Have you posted your OCG tournament today? I'm looking. One announcement. I don't think there's been a thing posted today. Are you still doing one today? I forgot to post the tourney today, and I'm outside. God, Mono, we're trying to promote you here. Come on, buddy, what you doing? Hello, Mr. Tomato. Hello, Sakadetsu. Or else we will just quit. True. The part of Duel Links is the time you wasted money on doing some farming with time is a waste. I mean, it is what it is, right? I'm going to use it to summon 7 Sesso and Dragius and then fusion. I mean, you could. You definitely could. My favorite maximum. Parker, why is this your favorite maximum, bro? I mean, no shade, right? But like, out of all of the Magnum Overlord maximums, I think this is the least interesting in effect and aesthetic, personally. Isn't that neat? Minus 1,000 for attack or piercing. Meanwhile, that fusion you showed us has 3,500 and is an extra deck monster. Exactly. I've got to post the tourney. Mono, how do I win now? How do you win now? How do you win if there's no tournament? Mono be like, we outside. I mean, it is a shame, isn't it? That, like, the ban list was so bad that Mono has gone outside. Like, that is the world we live in now. We just have to accept that. I mean, I guess we'll continue on. Wait, what is this? We've got Supreme. Oh, we got the other one. The other thing we could get is this one. So, usually, I would not say we're getting this card. Realistically, this card is a little bit too good. But. We live in Gaia Matari world. So everything kind of goes out the window. And this card wasn't... I want to say, if I recall correctly, this card came out shortly after Go Rush started. So power level wise, it might not even be that further ahead, right? But so this is the other Magnum Overlord max, or one of this. There's still technically one more. But this is one that we could get. This, I don't remember if this was ever actually in the anime or not. This might have just been a TCG exclusive. Or OCG. Wait, is the ban list out? The ban list is out. We've seen the ban list. It's not live, if that makes sense. So we can see the cards, but they're not put into effect yet. Petition for selection boxes to be OR only to include Overrush Premium Black. I would love that personally, because then I just wouldn't open them. But I think that's the reason they won't do it, is because people just wouldn't open them. But we'll wait until the ads go away, and then we will talk about this card. Hey, thank you for the follow, Riz. Welcome. Where can I find it? You can find it on DLM, or you can find it in-game, in the news section. It might be in the manga. That is true. I have not read the manga. I've seen bits of the manga. I have not sat down and read the whole manga, so it very much could be in there. Alright, we'll just wait for the ads to go away, and then we will continue talking about Supreme Wild Gleam Magnum Overlord. Look how pretty it is. I actually think this is one of my favorite like artworks for any of the Magnum Overlord maximums, and I also really like the effect of this one as well. I think this is genuinely like one of the better design maximums, but we'll talk about that when the ads go away. Just like Luke's Dragius maximum, 5,000 ads. I mean, we have the ads set to like one of the lower settings. This is just what Twitch demands of us. It's from the manga. I like Skystream because it's like what you say. It's a supporter maximum, and I find that interesting. I'm a sucker for stuff related to flying in the sky, and I think it being used in the anime has shifted my opinion on it to be more positive. But that's fair enough. Absolutely fair enough. The bits include Neanderthal scenes. It's cool. The bits I've seen is like some of the other characters, right? Like there was one Rush Duel anime that doesn't have any of the main characters in it. It's got like a completely different set of cast. But anyway, this is Wild Gleam. So Wild Gleam is, while it's in maximum mode, cannot be destroyed by traps, right? 3,500 attack. Then we have, this card gains attack equal to the number of monsters on your opponent's field times 500. Which means, if your opponent has a monster, this is 4,000 attack. If your opponent has 3 monsters, this is 5,000 attack. Alright, so that's already very, very good. If you have 10 or more monsters in your graveyard, this card inflicts piercing battle damage. So, this can be a 5,000 attack piercer. Now, that sounds really, really rough, but you got to remember, this is a maximum monster. So this has to kill your opponent somehow. And you're only getting 1 attack with that 5,000 pierce, right? It's not like 5,000 pierce, then you've got like a backup attack, and then a third attack coming in, right? So, very, very, very powerful. And then the third effect, during the turn that your opponent special summoned the level 5 or higher monster face up, or this card is face up, your opponent cannot activate the effects of face up level 10 or lower monsters. So if your opponent special summons a 5 or higher, so it'll be any fusion monster or any maximum monster, because a maximum summon is a special summon, they can't use their effects. So if your opponent summons like, you know, Yggdrago, they can't use Yggdrago effect the turn they summon it, if we get out this first. Which is like a really cool kind of like semi-floodgatey type of effect. And I personally think it's just really cool. It means that your opponent can't just like summon out an extra deck monster and just kill you. Or like out your guy really easily. They have to commit to killing it with like spells and traps. Or spells, I guess. Hey Tomato, the other, where is Stream Magnum Overlord? It seems Udius owns Udius Maximum. I mean, yeah, so that was in the anime. I don't think we're going to get the other one, the Train, because I think that has like anime connotations attached to it, so we won't get that one yet. That's like kind of how I look at it. But I think we could be seeing any of these new like maximums coming out. Like there is potential there. So then we got Heavy Metal Unlimited, right? Who needs to kill it with spells just to attack directly for game? True. But then we get Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal Unlimited. Now, what was a card that you would play in this deck? Realistically, the best card you would have put in would have been King's Majesty, but we now can't use this card because it's limit 1. So, what can we play in this now? We can play Ghost Cyclone, which is good. Ghost Cyclone's a good card, and Royal Rebels don't have like a real back row hate. They have like put it to the top of your opponent's deck, or return to the hand, whichever one it is. I think it's to the hand, I think, the Genie's Fire Breath. But other than that, this doesn't do a lot. Like, there's just not enough you can do with this other than you can now play Ghost Cyclone. Which I guess is fine. I don't think you would necessarily splash Heavy Metal in any other decks. Like, you can play, like, aggro with Heavy Metal now, but, like, does that do anything? I don't know. Then we get Shock Dragon. Shock Dragon, again, is a bit of a weird one. This card did see a lot of play during the Sevens era, but we are not in the Sevens era anymore. We are almost finished with the Sevens era because we've gotten a lot of the Sevens fusion cards. And we've also been dipping our toes in the Go Rush era, and Shock Dragon didn't really see any play after that. Aggro now has Dragius and Heavy. Oh no, exactly. Who cares? It doesn't matter, does it? But Shock Dragon is a good card. The problem is, Shock Dragon was like the 7th boss you would play in your deck, right? You'd have like 3 copies of something you want, 3 copies of like your backup boss, and then like the 7th was Shock Dragon. Now, because we don't have 40 card decks, we're not playing 7 bosses in Duel Links. So Shock Dragon now struggles to find a place, right? I still think Shock Dragon might see some experimentation, but I don't think it's going to see as widespread play as it saw in OCG. Let's put it that way. Hello, Cyclone Valley. Welcome. Maybe we get new Royal Rebels, but I doubt it. Yeah, the only issue of Royal Rebels, right, is if we go and take a look at the Royal Rebels we don't have. So, we have Hard Rock. Which, again, this is part of the, like... Actually, when was Hard Rock released? I don't remember when Hard Rock actually came out. So, during the turn you normally summon this card, attributing 2 level 7 or higher Fiend type monsters. Choose a face at level 7 or higher monster in your opponent's field. If it damage your opponent equal to the difference in the attack between the chosen monster in this card, this card gains attack equal to the difference. This card I don't think matters. They could release this card, but I don't know why they would limit this. Actually, it's because it burns. So, this could be what they're going to do. They might actually give us Hard Rock. And then they're going to limit it because it burns. I could see that. Rush is going to end next week. It's the end of an era. I mean, it's fine, right? It's fine. We'll get something, whether or not it's like takes a while to do it. The Miss 7 effect monsters, 2 spells, and 3 normal. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter how many they're missing. What matters is the actual cards that they are missing, right? So, for example, Progressive... I don't think we could get Progressive, because this card made Royal Rebels Tier 1 in OCG, and it's still like a Tier 2, Tier 3 deck in OCG right now, because of this card. So, how could we get this now, when this is the reason it's doing so well in OCG right now, right? But so this is really important. We can destroy back row, and then after you destroy back row, you can destroy any face-down card. So the reason this is important is obviously, 1, it pops 2 cards. That's amazing. But 2, Royal Rebels have always struggled to deal with set monsters. So this, pop a back row, pop a set monster. Bam, we have a way to get to our opponent's life points. We can do this every turn, right? So, now obviously, you know, we have to recycle it, but that's not too difficult. So, that's why I don't think we'll be getting progressive anytime soon. But Hard Rock, we could definitely get Hard Rock. This card could definitely come out, and this could definitely be limit 3. So maybe that's what this is hinting at. We also have No Wave. No Wave is a weird one. We should have had No Wave by now. But we don't. And I think the reason is it has 2600 defense. I can't really think of any other reason why. I guess it would be because of the skill. Does the skill summon effect monsters only, is the question. So it's what? Requiem. Death Doom Requiem. Level 7 or higher light attribute fiend type effect monsters. Okay, so it summons effect. They have deliberately made it so you can't summon out No Wave. So, yeah, this could come out. I was going to say, maybe they don't want you like building like a stall deck where you can use the skill to cheat out 2 of these in defense mode. But it's already like future-proof, so that doesn't matter. And Reactor. If Konami give us broken stuff for Gaia, give us broken stuff for other decks. The issue with that, Elmez, is they gave us, like, the non-broken stuff from Gaia, right? That they could have done it so much worse. Like, the Gaia deck could have been so much stronger. Let's jump into this quick. Let's get it up. Question is, where do I have a good Gaia deck? We should have a Gaia list somewhere. Here we go. So here's a Gaia list. So this is what a Gaia OCG list looks like. This is not like a perfect Gaia OCG list, but this is a Gaia OCG list. Now, what do you see here? Or should I say, what do you not see here, right? So we don't have battle-tested Gaia. We don't have, you know, regular Cursor Dragon. We don't have most of the Matarian stuff. We're still playing Imaginary Reactor because it's still just that good that you would still see it play. This deck is basically unrecognizable. The big differences are, we have 3 copies of Battle Ruler, which again, we still already have limited to 1. We still have the Swift Gaias, but for the most part, you just summon Battle Ruler exclusively. Like, you still do sometimes go into Swift Gaia, but in OCG, why would you not just make Battle Ruler every single time, right? Like, the difference is, we have Veteran Cursor Dragon that makes this absolutely busted, as well as we have a lot of other cards to help it out. So, for example, we're playing the level 7 Gaia. We can now play things like Secret Order if we want to. But as you can see, this isn't even playing Secret Order because we don't need it. What we do have, though, is Ship of the 7 Treasures, which we can use to send level 7s to the graveyard and basically gain advantage from them, and also have a way to get them into the graveyard from our hand. Wait, I missed the OCG ban list bit. I mean, we already spoke. We spoke about the OCG ban list like when it came out ages and ages and ages ago. Sparing us from the horrors. Imagine this stuff for older decks. Give us Harpy stuff, for example. They're missing a lot of cards. Yes. 100%, 100%. But my point is, they did give us Gaia. And Gaia is a really strong deck in OCG. But my point is, they did not give us full power Gaia. The Gaia we have in Duel Links is massively nerfed. Like, unbelievably massively nerfed. Compared to what it could have been. So it's like you were saying, we could also get like some Harpy cards, right? So if we go and look at the Harpy cards. There are obviously lots of cards we do not have yet. We do not have Harpy Lady 2. We don't have Harpy Lady 1. We don't have Harpy Lady 3. Harpy's Pet Master would be overpowered. We're not getting this one. We don't have Regina. We don't have Signora. We don't have Cielo. We don't have Kara. We don't have Belle. We don't have Triangle Beauty. We don't have 2 and 3. We don't have Feather Duster. We don't have Regina Splendid. We don't have Kara Charming. We don't have Ecstasy Spark. We don't have Elegant Egotist. We don't have Harpy's Feather Duster. This is not really a card. We don't have the equipped spell, Harpy's Full Dress. We don't have Harpy's Feather Tempest. We don't have Splendid Slash. We don't have there are a lot of Harpy cards we don't have, right? Now, we could get some of these cards, especially since we now have equipped spells in the game. Theoretically, they could give us Full Dress. The only negative to giving us Full Dress is if you do still summon out the Harpy Maximum, which is doable, Harpy Maximum plus Full Dress is an OTK. So that would be the reason to not give us Full Dress. Outside of that, I think it could come out and be completely fine, personally. Where is the gun and the Shura? Exactly. Where are they? 29 Salad and not one in top 4. Thoughts on the Duel Links ban list? I mean, we're kind of going over that now. That's kind of what we're talking about right now. It doesn't change anything. Yeah, we only have the maximum, the pet dragon, and 2 normals. 1% chance of Harpy Max because LR is still at 1. You're not wrong, but the more the game speeds up, the more ways we have to keep dumping cards into the graveyard. So, for example, there was a player. I can't remember what the name of the player was now. But he would enter point battle rooms and just play stall, and the skill that let you search a level 5 or 6 wind monster from your deck. So his entire strategy was just summon the Harpy Max and try and win off that. I'm not saying that would work, but I'm saying the more mill cards we get, the more draw cards we get, the more getting to those individual pieces is going to be easier, right? The tornado draw incident. See, Ray remembers. One card that we could also get is Royal Rebels Echo. This card is actually kind of cool. I think if Royal Rebels do get another wave of support, like No Wave could come out, Hard Rock could come out, and Echo is another fantastic tool. So place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, special summon 1 level 7 or lower fiend monster with 0 defense from your hand or your graveyard. So you just summon a monster from your graveyard. If you summon the level 7, which again, the only level 7 I believe that they have is Invasion. So this is a reason to play Invasion. You then get to add a fiend monster from your graveyard to your hand. So this card on its own gets you a boss or just random fodder, as well as the tribute fodder to get out one of your other guys, right? Because you want to tribute the level 7, because by tributing the level 7, that will trigger things like Doom Metal, that will trigger things like Hard Rock, that will tribute things like the Heavy Metal, right? So this card is a really, really good card, and this could actually make Royal Rebels come back in kind of a big way, which is kind of cool. By the way, is there Blue Eyes support that is not released? Yeah, there's tons of it. I think no Salad topped because they killed each other in the spammer floodgates. True. I would love some Blue Eyes stuff for Rush. Blue Eyes was Pog. Blue Eyes is in a weird spot, though. Blue Eyes in Rush kinda relies on... Speaking of which, we haven't actually got Break yet. I suppose Break isn't really important until we get No Wave. I mean, this is basically like... We can see the pieces of a Royal Rebel release coming out. But Blue Eyes was always very dependent on specifically the Burst Stream of Destruction, which we only have 1 copy of, and it's limited 1. But we do now have cards like Engine of Destruction. Where was it? Which is the card that pops a card? Yeah, this one. So this card is what changed everything. So until Blue Eyes Blazing Bright came out, we basically were stuck with, if you don't use Burst Stream of Destruction, you're not getting to your opponent's life points. But this card changed that. So this is made using Blue Eyes White Dragon and a level 8 Light Attribute Dragon monster. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. This card gains 500 attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this guy becomes 3,500 during your opponent's turn as well. Then if you have Engine of Destruction in your graveyard, you can destroy 1 monster on your opponent's field, which again, just pop any monster is always going to be really, 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 really strong, right? So it's good, right? This, if we get this eventually, suddenly Blue Eyes becomes actually like decent and playable. That's kind of how I look at it. But kind of moving on, Dark Sword Magician. This card is really hard to use. So to get its extra bonus effect, we have to have 6 or more spell cards in your graveyard, and then it can't be destroyed by card effects. But it's still just a 2,500 guy. You can just kill it without card effects. I don't think it matters. This card originally came out with like the Solitaire deck, which is a deck that plays mostly spell cards. It played like 6 to 9 monsters. The deck is still good to this day, but it's not good because of this card. It's good because of Obsidian Magical Sorcerer, which is a lot better than this. This card, Unlimited, I don't think does anything. I don't think this is going to see any play. Like, maybe you'll play this in, like, Dark Magician. But as we've been seeing some people experimenting, a lot of people are actually just playing Shield War and Kong in that anyway. So... That's kind of how I feel about it. You said nobody plays it, so it can come unlimited. Wait, which card are we talking about? Are we talking about... like, Dark Sword Magician? I'm losing track of when this message was sent versus what I was talking about at the time. Dark Sword. Yes, Dark Sword, when it came out, this card probably should have been limited. But, like, very quickly after it came out, like, I don't know, 3 months, it probably got power crept and just got to the point where no one was going to play it. So, like, this card could have been unlimited for ages, right? Aim Eagle Unlimited is, like, it's fine. The thing is, the issue I have with this is you can play it with the Ultimate Bond skill, but the Ultimate Bond skill locks you into only having high-level light monsters. So part of me feels like you'd rather just play Ancient Gear Golem and Join Tech Rex anyway. So although it's nice to see this unlimited, because it doesn't need to be limited, I don't know if this will actually do anything. Like, again, it's nice just to free up the limit list. But is this going to have any impact whatsoever on the meta? I'm not convinced. Then we got Tarask. Again, Tarask is a nice card. It's probably going to see some play and a little bit of experimentation, but I still don't think this is enough to make Worm suddenly a really good deck. I would love to be wrong, but I can't see this being the, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back and lets Worm suddenly be really, really good. Gekka is irrelevant. No one's playing this. It just does not matter. Shieldbore and Kong. So I didn't think this card was going to get unlimited, but this is in a similar boat to Shock Dragon, where it's a card that saw a lot of play as, like, the 7th boss, right? Don't look at Worm win rate in your door room. I mean, I don't think I can. I haven't actually looked at the door room whatsoever. Let's have a quick gander and see what's going on. So there is people playing. Let's take a look at the... Looks like not a lot of games have been going on, though. So, question, is Ari the one playing Worms? That is the question. Worm could play Secret Order now? That is true, but a lot of Worm decks just weren't playing Tarask. So, really, it's they can now play Tarask now. Yes, I'm the one playing Worms. That is a shame. Are you playing against exclusively Gaia, is the next question, I suppose. But yeah, Shieldbore and Kong is like... It was a good card when we had 7 bosses and in the middle of the 7's era. Is it going to be good now? It's probably going to do, like, something. I don't know if it's going to make its way into any, like, actual tournament or tiered decks, right? No, majority of my losses are to Rebels. I mean, to be fair, that is not a matchup you should probably be winning anyway, right? He's only playing Royal Rebels, sob. Royal Rebel is 6-0. Nice. Who's playing Royal Rebels then? Quantum probably, and then... maybe Trash BANLIST. And I, maybe? There could be any number of these as well. Ray is 2. I mean, which one of these is Ray? Because I don't know. Ray's probably one of these. I don't know who it is. I mean, I know. You actually can't see it at the moment. There you go. Ray's probably one of these. I mean, we could look at some replays in a bit as well. That'd be kind of fun. Go back and just take a look at what people are doing. Trash BANLIST and Murata. Ray is Trash BANLIST. I see it. That does make sense. That does make sense. Murata is playing Pure Matarian. Oh, cringe. Oh. And then the last card, Insect Rampage. Insect Rampage is fine. I don't think this card probably needed to be hit. Is this card going to do anything? It only pops level 8 and lowers. I think that is what holds this back. But you could still pop Gaia bosses. Right? So, you know. I think it's cool. I like it. And then we'll go and just talk a little bit about the skill changes. Beyond Curiosity, this is cool. This basically turns your deck into sort of the way that Cyburst was intended to be played. I don't know if we'll ever actually get those other cards, right? There's the other, the Pictotron and the Octra. I don't know if we're ever going to get those, but maybe. Maximum Ragnarok. now can get you 1500 plus defense monsters. This implies we're going to be getting some new ones eventually. Join the battle level battles is a really weird skill, but now it can add fusion from the graveyard. So this implies that we're going to get the Sigistate Soul fusion, because this skill works for Sigistate Soul and gets you a fusion from the graveyard. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about those before we jump into the duel room. But this is Fen Rewriter Soul. 2800 attack, 2800 defense, level 9. Mage using Sigistate Soul and Connected Dog. Send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, draw 1 card. Then if your opponent has a monster on their field, you can special summon a Cyberse type monster from your hand face up to the field. This is actually really cool, because this is mill 2, which is good, draw 1, which is good, and then we can special summon a Cyberse from our hand, which is good. These are all good effects. The only, like, mild negative part about this is that you have to make it using Sigistate Soul. And that is not a bad thing, but if we're playing the skill that gets us fusion back to our hand, the skill basically just gets you a +1, which is, like, not bad. I actually think this makes Join the Battle of All Battles kind of a good skill, because now this is a 3+1 every turn. But we do have to have Sigistate Soul or Manny in hand. So, maybe it's a weird one. If we get, like, if we could get a high-level normal monster, this would actually be really, really good, but eh. But we can't use Maximum Ragnarok, right? Or at least we can't use it very well, I suppose, with the fusion. Metabot's music? Exactly. We could also get the Cyclotron fusion. This one, yes. This is Permalind Hictotron. So 2600 attack. If we have 3 or more Cyberse type effect monsters in your graveyard, draw 2 cards, place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. So this is nice. It's only level 8. It's only got 2600 attack. You do need to have 3 or more Cyberse effect monsters in your graveyard. And it's made using 2 vanillas. So that doesn't really synergize super well. But it's basically a draw 1, right? Because it's draw 2, get rid of 1. It's a +1. It's okay. It's okay. The fuck are these names? I mean, that's all of the Cyberse cards. They're all weird. Hard to complete with Maximum Ragnarok. True. Yeah, other cards we could get. Seed Crotron Brusselin. So this card is pretty cool. So it's level 7 with only 2400 attack. People probably know by now that is bad. We don't want lower than 25, really. During the turn that you normal summon this card, send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Then if a Cyberse monster was sent to the graveyard with this effect, so you're gambling. But if you do get it right, you can add a Cyberse monster with 0 defense from your graveyard to your hand, up to the number of face-up monsters on your opponent's field. Now, if we Gamba, and we Gamba correctly, bearing in mind again, it is Gamba technically, but we can use things like Maximum Ragnarok to force the top card of our deck to be a Cyberse monster. So we have a skill already built in that lets this just work, right? We can grab an entire Maximum from the graveyard, because they all have 0 defense. If our opponent has 3 face-up monsters, we just get an entire Yggdrago back from the graveyard, which is really good. Like, really, really good. Gaia Cyberse. Exactly. Have you ever heard about Peacock? Man, Ray absolutely going in. I think Beyond is the best Cyberse skill now. Just Turbo Max with no downside. It kind of depends. If we get this card, this then suddenly, I think, adds extra value to Maximum Ragnarok. And Maximum Ragnarok is already a good skill on its own. Join the Battle of All Battles is good if you're planning to go down the fusion route. But, like, the fusion's good. But, like, what does the fusion do? Right? Like, realistically, you'll use this. You'll summon out the, Hydron. Whatever his name is. Atrashoot Hydron. Apparently I can't spell. Atrashoot. You can summon out this, who just draws you more cards and reduces and gains attack, which is like, that's good. But that doesn't, like, it still doesn't fix the issue of Cyberse don't have very good ways to get past set 3. Which, like, in this meta currently we're in, wouldn't matter as much. But stop defense Yggdrago. Yep, I mean, you can do. Is that Cataphract on steroids? Always. Hydron, like Hydra. But yeah, the, overall, I think these cards could be pretty... I mean, this is the other card we could get. I don't know if we'll get this one, but, like, this could come out. Like, this isn't anything crazy. This is Progrigavansig. So, if your opponent has a face-up monster with 2,500 attack, has to be exactly 2,500 attack, you can special summon this card from your hand face-up to your field. Requirement none, continuous effect. This attack position card cannot be destroyed by battle with a monster that has 2,500 original attack. So this, the idea is, you slam it on the board, if your opponent has a 25, then you ram it into that 25, but you survive the combat. Smash. But yeah, that is the logic. This card doesn't have to come out. It's not going to do anything crazy. But, like, it could come out. It's fine. It's not overpowered or anything, right? This is sort of anime card exactly to counter dragons or warriors or something. I don't remember if this card was seen at all in the anime, you know. But yeah, those are the Cyburst cards. I mean, we could get them. The other ones we haven't got yet. Peacock Pictotron. Obviously, this is attached to the skill. We don't have this card individually yet. This card did see some weird fringe play in, like, zombie decks. As, like, kind of a loop engine. So that might be why they don't want to give it to us. And Zeptron is the other one we still don't have. And then there's also the trap card Security Hole. Again, we're not going to get this. Because Konami hate trap cards. But when an opponent's level 8 or lower monster, so again, doesn't work on Fusion, doesn't work on Maximum, declares an attack where you have a face-up level 7 or higher Cyburst type monster on your field, shuffle the attacking monster into the deck. So we're not going to get this card. We're not going to get this card. It's really good. It does only work on, like, 8s and lowers. That's, like, the downside of this trap, but it's still really good. It'd be nice if we could get this. We're not going to get this. I mean, a lot of monsters have 2,500 attack. They do. But it's like, it's very deliberate that you just slam it down, attack in, hope your opponent hasn't got any back row, right? I don't remember Nail Fusion summoning in the anime. Yeah, I don't believe he does. I think they are all from the set that came out towards the end of Sevens, or like just after Go Rush started, which had just a bunch of 7 support in it. But I guess we'll finish this up. So we do have an announcement. Yu-Gi-Oh! Official Card Game X Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel next turn. So this is like in 6 days or something. We're going to get like a special stream. It's going to go over the latest news about products, events, tournaments, promotional short animated series. Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Game The Chronicles being released on April 2025. I thought this would be something worth watching. This is obviously just going to have like new products for Rush, which should be cool. New, you know, OCG stuff, as well as specifically Chronicles, which is, yeah, cool. I think everyone's looking forward to Chronicles. So I'm looking forward to this. It's not really anything super major, but I thought it was worth mentioning. And then that's kind of it. I guess I want to look at this as well. So this was Nanao. So some of you will already know who Nanao is, but Nanao does host point battles quite regularly. And this was his take on the ban list. So I expressed a lot of feelings during the stream, but I love Rush Links, and I want to continue for as long as possible. I understand that it is difficult to create an environment that satisfies everyone, but I would like the environment to be adjusted a little better. That's what I thought when I saw this unlimit. Which is, this is the most crash out you'll ever get from a Japanese player. Like, for the most part, Japanese players are they're very respectful. They're very, generally quite calm. They're very polite a lot of the time. So this is like the closest you get to, like, I don't like what's happened. I don't like the list. So, you know, when Nanao is like saying this on Twitter, I think that is a good telling that like the whole community is not very happy at the moment, which is like a little bit awkward, right? It'd be nice if we could fix that up. Obviously, we then had this as well. This is like a little bit disingenuous, but it gets the point across, right? And then even if we take away the GRF results, even if we just look at tournament results, Gaia Matarian is like the most dominant deck of all time, right? It's actually insane. Rush is bad. Is it because they limit one negate attack? No, it's not about negate attack. It's about the fact they didn't touch the Gaia skill. That's the issue. I think everyone sees the writing on the wall that Gaia is going to still be the best deck for a long time, right? That's how the JP players react. Must be real rude in their eyes. I mean, apparently so. Yeah, I mean, just by comparison, everyone in the West looks like animals. But yeah, again, if we look at the current win rate of Gaia Matarian, 67.2% of top 4 points is Gaia Matarian. This is the worst a deck has ever been in terms of like overall dominance in the meta. It's actually disgusting. Gaia skill, hero skill. I mean, yeah, hello Lady Jasmine, by the way. Welcome, welcome. But with that said, I think it's time for us to dive into this format. And I want to see what some of these people are on. So we'll probably look at some replays just so we can see what everyone's been doing. I kind of want to see like what people have been cooking with. So let's go and check out Ari versus Quantum Cubes. This will probably be a good one. So we should already know the result of this game. It shouldn't be like too surprising, right? We've had a little bit of chat about it already. But we're going to see Quantum playing the Royal Rebels and Ari playing the ever so... I really like Worms. I think Worms is really cool. I do think Royal Rebels is also cool. But Worms are like really, really cool. But let's see what happens here. So we are going to see Death Doom Requiem come down. We're going to summon out the Invasion and the Doom Metal in defense. This is pretty standard for the Royal Rebels. You just open a whole bunch of high levels. You just got to slap them all on the board. Looks like everyone is playing Ghost Cyclone. That seems to be the new tech, I guess. So we are going to swing over both these monsters. This is not ideal. So generally, Royal Rebels likes to play quite defensive. And then you wait for your opponent to commit to the board, and then you like try and get a load of damage in all at once. But we haven't seen the Royal Rebel deck played in quite a long time. It looks like both players are just going to keep trading blows. We're going to use Phaser to bring back the Doom Metal, and then we're going to go straight into battle. Call of the Earthbound is going to come down, which is a new tech that you can run in this deck, which is quite nice. I guess that means we've already seen 2 of the Limit 3 cards from Ari. We can activate the skill, summon out the Bill Dragon. Right, I need to say, I need to get this off my chest. Ari, what have we done to this beautiful card? This used to look like such a nice card, and we've given it sepia, and we've slapped a badge on it. Like, all color and soul is gone now. And this, it doesn't look much better. We let it cook in the sun. I like how we got the Salad skill nerf after the Rush Cup. Very logical move. I mean, it makes sense, right? If there's something they want to change, it's just a good opportunity to slap a change in. They've done it to Rush in the past as well. What is the Limit 3 card Royal Rebel runs now? So at the moment, it's Ghost Cyclone. Ghost Cyclone is what we're seeing in this list specifically. And it does make sense as the only real Limit 3 card you would probably run in this deck. Oh, that's a Limit 1 even, wasn't it? Yeah. Unironically, now Neg is Limit 1. We're going to see a lot of Gaia on Widespread, so Trap Destruction going to be somewhat relevant again. I mean, potentially. Definitely potentially. We gave it a tan working in the dirt. Now, let's continue on and see what happens here. So go back to Quantum. So we now have 2 big guys that we could tribute over and summon out the Doom. Doom is going to pop absolutely everything. Burn for 15. Phaser is going to be activated and bring back another Doom. Widespread Ruin is going to come down. So obviously we saw that the Ari is playing the newly Limit 1 Call of the Earthbound, which means we had to change off our Legend Trap. So Tarrasque is going to come down. We've only got 7 cards left in deck. Oh, look at how much nicer this card looks. Look, it has color. It's green and it has these lovely gold and yellow, and it has this purple. Oh, it looks so nice. I don't know why we would butcher it with Sepia. So we're going to be using the Guard. Put some cards back into our deck. At this point, we might literally just deck Ari out. So Ghost Cyclone comes down again. We'll pop one of the back row. We do hit the Buffered Slime. We are then going to hit the Primal Howling. We have already seen the Legend Trap, which means there should be no more traps that can actually stop us. We've kind of hit all 3 traps. So we're going to see Heavy Metal come down. Heavy Metal pops 1, attacks over the other for 2400 damage. So again, Ari's deck looking mighty thin. Secret Order is going to come down. There's another Limit 3 card. We do get to clear. As is, if we can just survive the turn, we should just win. There's no way, like, Ari is able to do anything, like, big here. Hey, it's the old tech Gazelle. And Gazelle is going to clean up the game. So even there, like, Quantum played very aggressively, right? You don't have to play aggressive in Royal Rebels. But obviously, Quantum just never felt threatened that he was going to, like, get absolutely blown out by keeping a pressure applied. It does also mean that you are less likely to allow your opponent to accumulate all the resources they need to do a big fusion play. People who make their cards Sepia should just auto-lose when they play ladder. I just don't like Sepia, personally. It's a personal thing. I just really don't like it. They limit card salad. Give me a break since I full starlighted my field spell. The field spell does look very pretty, to be fair. The field spell does look very, very pretty. The Sepia plus sticker combo should be a war crime. Tomato, play with us. I mean, we're gonna play some after we've watched a few. For now, we just want to like see what's going on. So I assume this is gonna be a Royal Rebel mirror. Ghost Cyclone's going to come down. We're going to get the free draw. Pot of Greed's going to be activated. So we're just casually just plussing a whole bunch at the moment. We're just doing set 6. Why not? So we have Mech Lord Mirror Innovator coming down. We are going to be using the... Okay, so we're going to gain some life. We are playing Goat. So I assume we are then still playing Majesty. I wasn't why we'd be on Goat. We'll use... the Genie's Fire Breath to put a card back in the hand, which means Hikari will be drawing one less card effectively. Monster Reincarnation is going to be activated to add back the Mirror Innovator. If we have the Reactor, which we do, we can mill 2, put that back into the deck, draw 2. We're just plussing up a Storm here. Lightstar Sign is going to come down, and we're going to be summoning it, the menace of the meta himself. We're going to be activating the Fusion, I would assume, here, and then getting out the Ashura Star. Now, is Ashura Star going to pop front row or back row? That's the question. We are going to be popping a back row, and we do hit the King's Majesty. We'll tribute 2, summon out the Mirror Innovator, put that card into the deck, get that piercing. We will attack over and attack over a defense position monster for a chunk of piercing. Deathian Requiem is going to come down. So I would expect Doom Metal here, assuming we haven't got a little bit unlucky. So Phase is going to bring back that Doom Metal. Stop Defense is going to flip it up. Tribute 2 for the Doom Metal. Doom Metal is going to pop absolutely everything, getting for 2,000 damage. Buffeted Slime is going to come down and protect us, but we are now down to only 1,900 life points. We're going to summon out the Boltracorn, activate its effect, turn off one of the back row, activate Barrage of Steel to pop the other, which means this is pretty much as good as it's going to get. We just don't have many resources left. Shield Boring Kong is going to come down, which will let us clear, but this is not looking good for Hikari. Pretty much anything should be able to end the game from this point. So we are going to summon out the Buyer, Tribute 2 off, summon out the Heavy Metal pop, attack over the defense position monster, and get in direct for 4,800. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen any Gaia yet, but it's definitely looking like Royal Rebels is doing all right. That one effect that makes it look somewhat damaged or dragged your card across concrete is definitely the worst Chronicle effect. I actually like that one quite a lot, if I'm honest. Let's see if we can get a game with 2 other people we haven't seen yet. Let's get Shari versus Murata. Let's check out this game. See what these guys are on. So Murata versus Shari. Yuo versus Mimi. Now, we are not going to be able to see what kind of skills they're on yet. Royal Rebel, am I in the right timeline? I think everyone just wants to test it out because, you know, the changes that we got, right? And Royal Rebel never really stopped being good so much as it got outpaced, like it got power crept, right? The card restoration is going to come down. We're going to gain 800. We will then attack over that. We're going to draw, summon out the Imaginary Actor. We're going to use the back row hate to pop. Trap Hole is going to come down. And then we're going to summon out the Juggles. Fuse Juggles together with Actor to make Hercules. Hercules, though, doesn't do a ton on its own, right? So this looks like it's going to be the pure Metarian deck, but with the Celerity skill still. Then we're going to make another fusion. Down comes Ashura Star. So Ashura Star's just going to happily pop something. Is it going to be a front row or a back row? There's no reason to hit a monster, so it's almost certainly the back row, which it is. Then we will attack over 2 monsters. Murata with 4,000 life points. Type Change Beam, newly limited to 1. We'll change both of these into Spellcasters. We'll summon out the Palace Gargoyle. So this is a mirror match, basically. Although, the question is, are both players completely devoid of all Gaia stuff? It looks like it. I think they're both playing the pure Metarian. So we'll fuse these 2 together. Hercules is going to come out. Hercules is going to spin 2. Shari hit me with Hercules twice when I was playing DM. Oh no. Sorry about that. Oh, 100 life points in a dream. All we need is a beam and an Ashura. It looks like we don't have it. Alright, Vritra. Chivalrous Celerity. We can boost the attack up. We can attack over. This is probably Jova. Did we actually draw nothing? Murata drew nothing? Murata must have just drawn a hand full of just like vanillas or something. There must have been like something going on there. We haven't seen Elmer play yet, so we would like to see that. What is this? What's going on here, Shari? Why am I seeing Luke with Blue Eyes Bright Dragon? Hello, Tomato. Is the room open? I would like to do some testing. Yes, the room is open. We have people playing in here right now. We're just looking at some replays at the moment from said room. So it looks like Elmer... Okay, so Elmaz is the one that's playing the Blue Eyes. Let's see if anything can come of it, or if it will just lose to the ridiculousness of the Batarian deck. Tribute set 1. Interesting. Let's see what it is. Barrage of Steel is going to pop a back row. It hits a TSA. We can activate Fusion, combine the two monsters together into a Shuro Star. Very yawn moment. Activate a Shuro Star, pop a back row. We do immediately hit the negate attack. We're going to flip up the Serpainter, fuse into Vritra Star, which will let us flip something else up, which is going to be the Tribute monster, which was Torna. Okay, so this is very much like the classic, like, Blue Eyes deck, right? Like the first iteration, it feels like. Polymerization is going to come down and fuse our monsters together. We can get rid of that last back row. I mean, this just goes to show, right? The Blue Eyes deck, this is like the old version of the Blue Eyes deck, which is like an old deck at this point, right? This is a much newer deck in Matarian with the brand new skill. I say brand new, it's been like 3 weeks. But it can't compete realistically. It just cannot keep up with that. Like, the new stuff was just kind of busted, right? Is there anyone else we haven't watched yet? I think we've seen everyone now. It doesn't look... Alright, Hikari versus Ari. I do want to watch this because this is Ari playing the Dark Magician deck. I would really like to see what Ari has been cooking with the Dark Magician. So let's see if DM can find a win or not. I kind of hope they can, because, I mean, it would be really cool to see DM actually be like a really strong playable deck. So Ari versus Hikari. Please don't I brick that game. I'll tell you what, since you really don't want us to, that's fine. We'll cut out of this one. I do want to see a game though. Wait, which one is it? Which one did you brick? I'm going to assume this one isn't the one where you bricked. You should watch the Shari game. Okay, we'll watch the Shari game. I'm just trying to find a game where Dark Magician's being played. I don't really care what happens in the game. I just want to see the Dark Magician deck in action. So let's look for Ari versus Shari. Ari versus Shari. There we go. Let's check this one out. Let's check this one out and see if Dark Magician looks like it has legs or not. Finally, I won. Congratulations, Elmaz. Alright, let's take a look. Let's take a Gandarino at Ari versus Shari. Who is the better Ari? It's versus Noodles, but it's something. I mean, we might have to watch that, because I want to watch the Noodles. So we're going to be setting 5. Ari's going to use Magician Shuffle. We're going to reveal the Dark Magician Girl from the hand. We're going to search out the Dark Magician. Then we're going to be putting one of those two into the bin. And we opt to put Dark Magician straight into the bin. So don't forget, we can bring this back now with Monster Calling. As well as, you know, we can play Secret Order. So we have like lots of ways to actually bring it back. We are playing the Seraph of Darkness. This is going to be the best way to change your opponent's monsters to face-up attack position. But again, they have to be... So you can use this to change face-up monsters' positions, right? So you can't use this to beat set 3, but you can use it to attack over stuff, which can be pretty good. We're going to see the Fusion come down, and Hercules Star's going to come out. Let's catch up with chat quick. Finally, so it's Agami if you want to watch it. Seraph of Darkness in the big 2025. I mean, this is actually a Go Rush card. This card came out, if I recall correctly, with the other Dark Fairy cards, which are like London Kirishima's cards, which we haven't got yet, right? The Ultimate Wizard, Dark Magician. Seraph of Darkness synergizes with Boring Kong, which is... That does make sense. So we will be clearing the whole board and taking off half of Ari's life points. Let's see what else we got here. We summon out the Fortitude Dragon, activate the effect. We lose one Secret Order, use the other Secret Order. We can then summon out the Seraph of Darkness, flip down, tribute to summon out Boring Kong. Boring Kong effect can now pop that defense position monster. Then we summon out the Dark Magician Girl. Buffered Slime is going to prevent us from taking any damage, but we still get to clear the whole board. Now, we could just die here, depending on what Shari finds. If Shari, though, doesn't find a fusion, this could be a bit awkward. So Shari almost certainly has a fusion here. We are going to see it come down. So Hercules hits the board. Hercules definitely not the one that we want to be seeing here. But I suppose it doesn't... Oh, yeah, they're spellcasters. My brain completely forgot that Shari just gets rid of spellcasters and that there were spellcasters on the field. Yep, that is exactly what you want in this situation. So this is actually... Is this exact lethal? Oh, but because we had the boost, it's well over lethal. This was almost exact lethal. It's a shame, but it does not look like Dark Magician is probably going to be super crazy strong or remotely playable, but you never know, you never know. Let's check out the Aigami versus Elma's game and see what's going on. So we're going to see Maddox versus Lucidian Luke Callister. We should be seeing Noodles at the top and Blue Eyes at the bottom. Now, it's a little bit concerning that, you know, we already know that Elma is going to win this game. And if Noodles can't beat Blue Eyes, then Noodles does not look like it's going to be in a good spot. Set 2, Tribute Set. What are we playing if we're Tribute Setting? Does that mean we're not playing Noodle Up Reboot? Because if we had Reboot, you just always attack over this. So I assume we're not on Reboot. Attack over for 300 and attack in for a huge chunk of damage. Ah, no, we just have nothing. We just have nothing. Dragon's Inferno is going to pop the negate attack. Yeah, you just win the 1 in 3 there. There's not really much you can do about that. Unfortunate. Tomato caught off guard by the fact that magicians are spellcasters. True, actually true. Is that the Blue Eyes White Dragon? Yes, it is. The superior name, clearly. That the second call gets brought back into play Noodle Burn. Both players go nuts. Maybe they're on the Pyro Search skill? Maybe potentially. I don't think there's much of a reason to keep watching these. Oh, Dwan's here, actually. We can watch Dwan versus Shari. We haven't seen a Dwan game yet. Let's check out Dwan's game. See what Dwan's testing. One thing I will say, people are having fun playing with these, like, lower-tiered decks. We haven't actually seen Gaia yet. We've seen Pure Matarian a few times. No one's played Gaia yet, right? So, like, we aren't really testing against, like, the meta, I guess. Virgin Dark Magician versus the Chad Dark Spellion. Dark Spellion, bring it back. So Dwan... Alright, we actually have Gaia. We actually have Gaia. Gaia is in the room. We can see how Gaia does into these decks. So we're going to activate Monster Calling. We're going to bring back the Gaia the Fierce Knight, activate the Poly to fuse them together. And we're going to be seeing the Ashura Star come down. So we pop a monster to try and get in for that 28. And we are going to find that 28. Now, don't forget, we have left a warrior on the field. So Ashura Star does just get to yoink that 2300 attack. Chivalrous Celerity. We can boost up. We can add the Imaginary Actor to hand. And we're going to add Poly. Then we're going to activate Poly. We're going to go ahead and make Sir Painter. I mean, that does clear. I almost think I still rather take Ashura Star here, but it might depend on how many Ashuras we have in the extra. Fusion is going to be activated to bring out Conqueror of Champions. We're going to activate Starry Start to bring back the Sword Dancer, add back the Fusion. It's limited 1. Oh, I'm talking about Thousand Knives. Yes, Thousand Knives is limited 1. Because reasons. How do you get it? Thousand Knives is a ranked reward. Imaginary Actor is going to pop. Chivalrous Celerity can boost up to 32. We go for that direct attack, and that 32 is going to end the game. Now, it looked very dominant. Obviously, that was 6,000 to 0, so, you know, it still looks like the deck's doing fine. Alright, I guess we can start... Oh, we don't want to click that button. We can start actually playing some games. I don't know what we should actually play at the moment, though. That's the other thing. Like, if we go and take a look at our current decks. So, there's the the Matarian deck, right? This is just Matarian. This is playing the 1-type change beam still. This version of the deck is just not playing the Hercules at all. And I don't really think the deck necessarily needs it, especially since type change beam's down to 1. That means the value of Hercules Star goes down quite a lot. This is basically the second place list. Like, I mean, we can go and get it really quickly anyway, can't we? This is basically the second place list, but like with some edits, right? So this is the heavy... Oh, it's not this one. It's wherever the pure one was. This is not the second place one. But this is very similar to like what the pures were on, except obviously they've lost the 2-type change beam, they've lost the trap card. But other than that, this is basically kind of how the build looks. Then there's like the Gaia heavy version. This is kind of like the first place list, like the first place global list with some tweaks, which again, it still looks very playable. This is the kind of 0 fusion build. What's the room code? It is right there. It is right up there. That is the room code. Hercules was good because of beam, though. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what we just said. Exactly what we just said. Hercules can technically recycle TCB. It can, but like, in what world are you recycling TCB and then like finding it again? Like, you might. I don't know if it's worth playing just for that. Especially since the games should be over very, very quickly anyway. But yeah, this is like the 0 fusion build. Then we have this, which is like the heavy Matarian version. This is like the Gaia, but it still has the Matarian in it. Obviously, our limit 3s now are the Star Restart and the 2 copies of Battle Tested. This is kind of the, I guess you could say this is like the Hikari build. Because she was one of the first people to be on just the 2 Battle Tested and go very, very heavy on the Matarian side of the deck. But on top of that, there's also like the other new decks we could play, right? Like, I mean, Royal Rebels has always been quite a fun deck. I do quite like that. Skills do shuffle, so putting bottom cards isn't as bad as they seem. It isn't, but you do have to, 1, find your one of, 2, use your one of and not end the game, and then 3, summon out a very specific fusion monster who you would use over Victor Star to change battle positions, you would use it over Victor Star to pop, use it over Ashura Star to just, again, either end the game or pop. And then you then put it back into your deck, and then you then like shuffle your deck because you use the skill, but then you need to then find it again. It just seems like a lot of hoops to jump through, and I'm not sure it's worth it. Spend so much time thinking that you don't play as much. I mean, I'm not worried about playing like a ton at the moment. Like, we're going to be doing some testing either way. We don't want to do like 4 hours of testing, right? No, I'm not interested in that personally. I just want to play a little bit, do a little bit of testing, yeah, a little bit of testing. But what do we actually want to play? I mean, I guess we'll play some, like, Gaia, right? Because we want to see how it's doing with the new changes, right? So let's try this list. I don't know how this deck's going to perform, but we will give it a go. So we have a whole bunch of games on at the moment. I'm just going to sit here. So if anyone wants to play specifically into Gaia, yeah, you can come and sit here and play. If anyone doesn't want to play against Gaia, then don't sit at table 5, right? There you go. Insects. I'm not super interested in trying insects at the moment. I just think at the moment, there aren't that many people who are playing Gaia in this room. It's basically just one. So a lot of people aren't being able to find out how their new decks perform against the meta deck, right? So we're going to see what happens here. Now, again, we still could brick. This isn't necessarily going to be like, you know, oh, you beat this deck, oh, suddenly your deck's like tier 1 or whatever. But we can see what happens, right? Bring it on. Okay, so we're playing against Royal Rebels. So we are going to have to try and play around Rebels at least a little bit. But we'll see what ends up happening here. So this is not a very good going first hand. This is a going second hand. So we will go ahead and set absolutely everything. And then we will just pass it over to Hikari. Oh, actually, we have to change our sleeves as well. Is Duke still around? Because if Duke is still around, he can decide what sleeves he wants. So Ghost Cyclone there. Ghost Cyclone is going to come down, which will give Hikari a free pop because she'll get to replace the Cyclone itself. Death Doom Requiem. Get some of those big bricks out of the hand. There's a 7. Do we have an 8? Or do we have an 8 that we even want to summon? We do not. Okay. Set. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, we are going to see heavy metal come down here. This is to try and apply a little bit of pressure. Trying out metal, bright eyes, and red eyes with the red eyes skill plus secret order is pretty fun, but as always, I sometimes brick. Well, that is not ideal. Not ideal. How do we want to play this? We could just do this. Oh, that's kind of fine. I don't even need the summon. The problem is we never want to play into Doom Metal, right? We just don't want to do that. If we're not going to go crazy, it doesn't really make much difference anyway. We probably just want to get some room. I think the play is probably just going to be summon this, right? I don't need to sort out the graveyard at the moment. I mean, do we need to sort the graveyard at the moment? No, we don't need to. Straight up, right? I could summon this out, use the effect, get that. That doesn't change anything. I don't want to commit 2 attack position monsters either way. So I think I'm actually just going to do this. So I'm going to tribute 1. I'm going to tribute 2. I'm going to summon this guy. I'm going to set 1. I'm going to set 2. I'm going to set this. Go ahead and activate the skill. I will quite happily send Cursed Dragon to the graveyard. We'll boost this attack up. No. Go to battle, and we will just swing over this. We don't need to do anything crazy here. We don't really want Gaia sat in our hand. We don't really want to have 2 face-up attack position monsters, because then that plays into Doom Metal really, really hard. We didn't want to just send this to the graveyard and just draw a card either, because this sets up a play for like a later turn. Pot of Greed's going to come down, which again is completely fine. The downside here is if Hikari is able to just find another heavy metal, could potentially hit us for a lot of damage, but then she'd have to commit a lot of monsters to be in attack mode herself, which means we could punish her. So DDR. So DDR is going to summon out the heavy metal. Okay, so that was kind of the scary bit. So now the scary part is that she has like 2 copies of Stop Defense. If she does, we've been God-handed. There's nothing we can do about it anyway. One Stop Defense is still pretty painful, but like, if it's double Stop Defense, it's literally the God Hand. There's nothing we could have done about that. So we don't have the back row to absolutely stop that. So. Tributes 2, summons out Doom. Okay, so just the 1 Stop Defense. This is not the end of the world. This is still pretty bad. But this could have been a lot worse. We shouldn't die from this position. Which I guess is kind of like the saving grace. One back row. Oh, okay. We are super fine with that. We are big chilling. Okay, so I was actually genuinely worried that was going to be a lot worse. What do we want to do from here? So the issue now is that we kind of don't want to leave ourselves with very few monsters. That's kind of the negative that we have going on right now. So if I summon that, discard that, I'd have 2 monsters left. We go for the draw. Alternatively, we activate that, use that, discard that. We could also get that to grab that. We could then pop that, swing over, use that to pop that. Now, 18 off would be 16. Let's just click buttons and see where we end up. I think that's going to be like the most fun way to approach this either way. So, I'm going to summon out Palace Gargoyle. We'll go ahead and activate Gargoyle. We'll send this to the graveyard. Then, we'll tribute Palace Gargoyle. Summon out Gaia. We'll activate Gaia. Does it make a difference? Getting the free +1 could make a big difference here. So we'll go 1, we'll go 2, we'll summon out Swift Gaia. We'll go for the Dragon's Inferno. This lets me pop the back row. Then we'll go ahead and activate the skill. What do I want in the graveyard specifically? Probably just you again. We'll gain the attack on you. Then we will go ahead and grab you. And you. We'll go Polymerization. We'll make this by using this plus this. Summon this out. Destroy a face down card. Go ahead and get rid of this. Then we'll go ahead and activate TSA. And we're activating TSA first because we want to draw a normal summon. Like, that's what we want. We just want any of these. We probably don't... Probably doesn't matter too much, but, like... Swap one of these for this. So we want to just draw any normal summon off the top. That is our objective here. It's not really... We do this anyway. Draw one card, then you can special summon one non-effect monster with 2,000 attack and or 2,100 defense from your graveyard. So I can just do this. Send this. Let me just bring this back. Okay, cool. I always thought that you had to discard a normal monster to use that, you know. It just hasn't come up before. Alright, there we go. Oh, that has literally just never come up where I haven't had a normal monster to discard. Oh. Don't draw a monster, Tomato. Thank you. No, we're fine. We're fine. We always got that. We always had that. Thank you for following Ghostly Gibbous. Fantastic hat, by the way. Shouldn't you have made Vricha? Because flip or more pierce. Using the spell can get another body for game. Shouldn't you made Vricha? Because flip for more pierce. Use the spell, get another body for game. Why would we flip for more pierce? For more peace? You have to explain that to me, Manicist, in more words, because I don't really understand what you're talking about. But if I'd made Vritra, I could flip down a 2,000 defense monster, and then I don't get as much damage over it, or I flip up the other monster, which is still going to be less damage than if I just popped it with... Has 0 defense. But wasn't the monster that Hikari had out Doom Metal, which has 2,000 defense? Or am I going crazy? Someone's in the wrong here. I don't know who it is. So I did want to check out quick. Ari was saying that they were trying out a really interesting deck. I wanted to check that out. It looks like not playing it here. Oh, is it this one? I think it is this one. I'm going to watch this game quick. It's another Hikari game. I want to see this deck. I don't know. I was only listening. I'm working. Yeah, so the play was... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Doom Metal. So at 2,000 defense. So it would not have been more piercing damage. But we had the TSA as well. Alright, I want to see this Ari build. I want to see this deck real quick. So Deathdoom Requiem's going to come down from Hikari. We're going to summon out Heavy Metal, summon out the Invasion. Pretty standard turn 1 for this deck. This is one of the other scary things about this deck, though, is quite often you have to throw 0 defense monsters out, which means you're going to get absolutely destroyed by piercing, which is kind of the scary thing with Royal Rebels in general, right? So we're going to tribute out the Blue Eyes Bright, activate the Dragon's Inferno, we'll pop the Stop Defense, we're going to activate the Blue Eyes Bright, attack into the Widespread Ruin, we will get rid of the Phaser. We're then going to set Tribute 2 to summon out Doom Metal, summon out the Archfiend, attack over and attack directly for 19. Looking pretty good for Hikari. We're going to be summoning out the Soul Drake, activating the Secret Order to bring out from the hand the Red Eyes, tribute both to get out the Doom Metal, gain the attack over for a lot of damage. Ghost Cyclone is going to pop the back row. This looks like this should be Hikari's game to win, right? Just anything wins the game here. And there it is, there's the Heavy Metal. That was an interesting build. We didn't really get to see a lot of what it can do, but unfortunately that is Rush. Sometimes you're just going to brick. That's just how the game goes, right? Getting exposed, oh no. We always expose, we always expose. I also did want to check out there was a Kim Friend game? Is Kim Friend the only other player that we haven't seen yet? I assume we haven't seen Ursus either, and Xeno. We have a lot of new people actually playing in here now. Let's check out some of these games. So this is Ursus versus Aigami. This looks like it's going to be Pyro versus something. Also, Aigami's icon there is so cute. The little chibi Knight Yugi. I kind of bricked, unfortunately, holding onto the Red Eyes was not exactly ideal. Yeah, that's always going to be the case, right? It's always going to be the case. Kim Friend playing Salads. Nice, nice. Dorum ID. The Dorum ID is up there. It's 37875. It's on the screen. So we are going to see a very defensive start. Aigami, unfortunately, absolutely bricked here. Absolutely bricked. Although Aigami's deck does look like it's going to be a very kind of fun deck. It looks like we are going to be playing the Road Magic Inferno, whatever it's called. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to see much of a game there. But that would have been a burn strategy. So I want to check out Xeno. I want to see what Xeno's on. Use your eyeballs. Hey, not everyone knows that it's on the screen, okay? We haven't exactly, telegraphed it. Alright, so we are going to see Zvijo versus everyone's favorite Dragon Boy, Luke. So, what is Xeno going to be playing? Xeno is kind of known for playing very deliberate decks. I think he plays Pyro, he plays the Red Boot deck. Let's see what Xeno is testing here today. We're going to see Elmaz still playing the Blue Eyes deck. We're going to see something out the Kyberman, activating the effect, summoning the Blue Eyes Bright Dragon, flipping up the Soul Drake. We do mill the negate attack. It's never going to change. We are going to see Insects from Xeno. Okay, okay. Kind of based, kind of based. That is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Unfortunately, we keep spectating, the games that aren't really games, which is a bit of a shame. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's watch the Kim Friend game. Kim Friend versus Dwan. Did you sign up? Did I sign up for what? What did I sign up for? I bricked bad that game. I mean, yeah, it's going to happen, right? Unfortunately, that's just Rush. Sometimes you're going to get a really shit hand. There's nothing you can do about it. Right, Dwan versus Kim Friend. So we are going to see a very defensive open from Kim. We're going to see Imaginary Reactor come down from Dwan. Essel after the Reactor means we get 4 chances to find something. We do just get the Vritra, and we can't clear over everything. Kim looks like we're playing the Royal Rebels. We got there in the end. Death Doom Requiem is going to summon out the Invasion. We're then going to summon out the Heavy Metal. We're going to pop. Widespread Ruin is going to get rid of the Heavy Metal. We're then going to get out the Imaginary Reactor, activate its effects, summon out everyone's favourite boy, the Sword Dancer, fuse it together into a Shora Star. Quantum QT Rush, yeah? So we are going to pop the Monster, which is a Babysitter Goat. We'll boost the attack up, attack over the Doom Metal. Activate Pot of Avarice. This is a card we have not seen in a while. Curious as to why we're specifically on this and not Pot of Greed. It could be a reason, or it could just be we just have it. Ghost Cyclone is going to get us another draw. Very, very good synergy. We've literally emptied all the monsters out of our graveyard so that we can now draw extra cards with the Cyclone, which might be enough to actually give us the win here. So we can set 2, summon out Doom, and summon out Heavy Metal, which is going to be lethal. There we go, there we go. Wow, Kim Friend loved Rush so much he's playing it. Exactly, exactly. It's definitely not someone else using his name. It's definitely him. Gonna go to bed. Probably won't wake up in time for Quantums. Good luck, Gaia decks. Please show the ban list did something. Good luck, non-Gaia decks. That's a very important There. Differentiation. Let's see if Hip AMR wants to play. Let's see if Hip wants to play. We'll slap that down. See if we're playing games. See if we're playing. Had fun. Thanks to the room tomato. Well, you're always welcome, Ari. One of the greatest members of the community. Let's see what we have here. Obviously, we're just playing Gaia, so nothing's going to be like too crazy out of us. But the idea is that when you're testing, someone has to still be playing the meta, right? Otherwise, you're not getting real testing in. Okay, this hand is potentially pretty good. Let's see what Hip's got for us. Probably playing some sort of Gaia deck, but the question is it going to be like pure Metarian or what? Playing Gaia now if you're interested. Tomato. I mean, yeah, we can check out some games. Raw Dragon's Inferno. I guess we'll just start out with Essel. We'll fire it off. Oh, there goes our Legend Trap. Some things never change. We can summon out the Cursed Dragon. We'll go ahead and activate the Dragon's Inferno. We'll just go ahead and pop that. We can summon out the All-Seeing Harvey. We'll activate Harvey and take a quick gander. Let's take a look at this one. That's a Sword Dancer. Alright, then... Are we just tributing for this? Probably. I don't think it's worth going all in here. Then again, if I know he's got a 500 defense, if I summon out a 32 attack directly, get out a 26 attack over, that's 32 plus... It's not lethal, no matter how you slice it. Although we do get a free draw. Let's go for it. Wait, no, because that doesn't even work. Because I would have to tribute this to get that out, which means I wouldn't have that for that. Okay, let's not go for it. Let's do this then. We'll tribute this. Summon this out. Activate the effect. Unfortunately, we did mill another one, which is not the best, but it's fine. We'll do this, plus this. Into Swift Gaia. We can set this. We will go ahead, and I guess we'll do this first. So to the graveyard, we're probably just sending this. We'll gain the attack on this. No. We'll activate, because now we have less chance to draw into one of those vanillas, which we didn't. That's kind of perfect. We'll go to battle. We know this can clear, so we will just swing over this. We'll take a look at what this is. And then we'll see if we can get in for maximum damage or not. Okay, it's still a 500 defense, so we still do get in for a nice chunk. Alright, we technically still die to Beam. We have left ourselves open to Vritrastar, so there is still quite a lot that could go wrong here. Let's see what happens. Tribute 2 small guys, Poly and Vanilla Gaia. Add Poly and Vanilla Gaia, then get Gaia, that's 2 Gaia fusions. I mean, yeah, we knew we could do that, but it wasn't lethal, so I didn't really see a need to do that. Unless we're going to get OTK'd here on the crackback, I still like this play. Hey, Tomato. Hey, everyone. Hello, Neo. Welcome, welcome. Right, Cursed Dragon gets added back. The only real negative is that we couldn't get one more 100 damage in. How many Pierce Guy are you running? That's a good question. We are running 1. But obviously we're playing TSA, so we can get it back. Cursed Dragon comes down. So this is probably going to be a double Gaia play, unless we've really bricked. It looks like we might have really bricked. Ooh. Okay, we've got 3 back row, though. 3 back row for us to chew through. At the moment, we can only pop one of them. I mean, we just lose both of these, right? There isn't really much decision-making needed. So what are we going to draw here? Also, you can't play Secret Order? Correct. Correcto mundo. I mean, we do have that. We could just discard, get it back, get the draw, see where we go from there. We probably go Dragon's Inferno first either way. I think just getting rid of one of these back rows is probably worth Hit Fusion. Not really the card we were hoping to hit, if we're completely honest. Right, let's go Monster Calling now. I think we have to discard this. I don't think this matters too much in the way that we do it. If I summon out the second guy, pop 2, where does that leave us? We pop that. We have 2 26s. Swing over, swing direct. That would be 16 plus 12, 28. That should be lethal, but it depends what he's got down. Alright, let's go Palace Gargoyle. No delay. Activate the effect of Gargoyle. We'll discard this. We will go ahead and tribute this. Summon this out. Activate the effect. Go for this by using this and this. Summon out Conqueror of Champions. Activate the effect to pop a back row. I guess we're just putting this back. We'll pop this. We'll set. We can activate Celerity. I guess we're just going to send this to graveyard. Don't think it matters what we boost. I don't really think the mill matters either, so we'll just go to battle. Swing with this. Swing with this. And then we'll see if the guard is in play. Okay. So the deck is still... It's still doing the deck things, right? It's still doing the deck things. You can still play the 0/0 Fiend instead of Secret Order Lamau. I mean, kind of. It's mere just easier to not run any Secret Order-like cards other than the Monster Gate. I should be talking about Monster Call? Right, let's take another quick look at some of these replays, because there was... Who was it that wanted us to check out their replay? It was Elmaz. Elmaz wanted us to check out his. Oh, that looks cool. That looks like a cool deck. I saw a Musi... What is it? A Musi Smiling Performer? Whatever it's called. Also, Ghostly Gibbous. That is an amazing picture. Absolutely amazing picture. Gold rare. To be honest, if it's not the 2 traps, you win the 50-50. It's lethal. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, Hans. Welcome, welcome. We're in here coping on the new format. So we are going to see set 3. Palace Gargoyle is going to come down, activate its effect, tribute it to summon out the Gaia, activate the skill to then dump, which means that when we do make this fusion, we're not going to get the extra 600 attack, which is, it does kind of suck. It's not the end of the world. So we'll fuse into Swift Gaia. Can we empty the hand to get the draw is the question. We're going to summon out... We are going to get the draw. We're going to activate the fusion to combine the 2 monsters together. Ashura Star is going to pop. We are then going to swing over, and then we are going to attack over with this. So this Ghostly Gibbous' deck does seem to be the Psychic Fusion version of Gaia. Now, this version of the deck I don't think is, like, super competitive, but this was something I did stumble across. I did, like, look at these cards, and I was like, what can we actually do with this? Unfortunately, not a lot. Basically, it's just some burn damage. So, like, maybe if you want to, like, burn your opponent to death, but, like, this boss monster, for example, this is just... inflict 800 damage to your opponent. So you can combine this with a Musi Performer to burn for another 3, and you've done 1100 damage. Now that can be enough, right? Because you've got piercing, you've got direct attacks, but that's kind of it. So Talismanic Accelerate is going to come down. We are going to refill our deck and our extra deck. We are going to reduce the attack of that Howling Performer. We're going to tribute to summon out Curse of Dragon, tribute that to summon out Battle-Tested Gaia. Then we're going to perform a fusion summon once again. This time we'll be making Gaia Conqueror of Champions. Now, will we be popping the back row? Almost certainly from this board state. We will be popping that card Restoration. Then we mill our Negate attack. Elmaz, how could you? This deck is illegal in the new format. You can't play Negate attack and Conqueror of Champions. They're both limit 1. Cheater. Is this the worst ban list in Rush history? It definitely seems like the most tone deaf one. That's about it. Oops, my bad. Yeah, people are going to make mistakes. I don't think I was going to hold it against you. I can't wait to open Rush and see no more Gaia Matarian soon. Wait. Yeah, it's an awkward situation to find ourselves in, but we've got to make the most of it, I suppose. Wow, spicy Gaia. I mean, like, the logic is there, right? You can attack directly. You can burn with that, like we say, it's about 1100 burn. So that 1100 plus a 32 direct, you're already looking at like 33 or 43 even. So now you only have to get 17. And if you attack with a 26 pierce, there's a good chance you get 17 in. So like the logic is there, right? I do understand what you could potentially do with it. Ooh, I'm going to watch this game though. I'm going to watch this game. I have to see Constructor Worm build Dragon. I think it's very important. What's it called? What's the maximum called? Heavy Cavalry, the Heavy Excavator, the Heavy Cavalry Drago. We got there in the end. I think TCB being limited and the unlimits make... to be honest, the only reason they hit Veteran Guide 3 was for people to go into the box and get Monster Gate. I mean, kind of. No, I think TCB being limited and all the unlimits make it better than most. Yeah, I think it was being sarcastic. So it's a I'm not like the other girl / guys Gaia. I would make the argument it is not going to be the competitive version of Gaia, but it is like we say, it's the spicy version, right? It's, I'm going to be a little bit different, I'm going to be a little bit snowflakey, but this can actually still win games, right? Tomato's going to climb with insects next season, right? I mean, if they release better insects, listen, if they release Delirium, even if it's like low power Delirium, I will play that in ranked in a heartbeat and max with it. I'm just saying. So everyone is just going very defensive here. We are going to see Chivalrous Celerity come down, boost up the attack. We're going to be attacking into card restoration. We are going to see some max pieces in hand already. There's a max piece on the field. There's another max piece on the field. Unfortunately, it's the same max piece, and we did see two of the other... Oh, there we go. We'll just draw it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We'll just summon the max. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So now we can use the effect to pop a face down and draw a card. We can then attack over. So this is a little bit spooky. Gaia doesn't out-maximum super well, but because of the hits, Gaia is now more incentivized to play TSA, which does hurt maximums a little bit more, right? So we are going to use the effect. We are going to pop that beautiful, beautiful negate attack in the back row. We're going to use the skill to add Curse of Dragon and Poly. We're then going to use the Poly to fuse two of our monsters together to make a second Ashura Star, which can now pop another back row. We still need that TSA. There it is. There's the TSA. And that is going to be Ray Scooping, because again, although not all Gaia decks were playing TSA before, I would find it very strange if every Gaia deck isn't playing it now, right? Ooh, I'm seeing some experimentation going on. We've got to check this out. Imagine goes crazy like they did with Gaia, and out of nowhere, full power Delirium. Could you imagine? Like, we just get, even, the fusions and everything, just all at once. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna, super poly your board, don't worry about it. It's like, could you not? Turn 1! It's just turn 1 Hyper Engine Vast Vulcan. Jesus. I mean, yeah. I mean, again, we have seen a Legend Mill. This is kind of the name of the game. So we are going to go ahead and summon out the Ashura Star. Now, Vulcan is a warrior. Doesn't matter. We're not going to even bother trying for that because we can clear it anyway. We don't even need to absorb all of his attack because the skill puts us over Vulcan's meager 3,300 attack anyway. So we're going to use the skill, which is going to let us get out another one. Are we just going to pop the back row again, or are we going to absorb the attack now? If we absorb the attack, this is lethal. There we go, we're just going to go for it. Yeah, it's the issue with Vulcan. Is it's a warrior, and its attack is really low, which is very sad. It's all just very sad. Lamau, no wonder they unlimited Vulcan. It sucks. I mean, you're not wrong. I don't have to like it. Right, let's check out this game as well, because we never actually got to see Ursus play Pyro without it bricking or getting bricked again. So let's check this out quick. I love no back row. Exactly. We don't need traps. Traps are a crutch. Just OTK. Nothing but OTK. Milling Legend spoiled that game a bit. I mean, it's always going to spoil the game, right? There's nothing you can really do about it. Milling Legends is like so obvious anyway, right? Wow, turn 1 max. Okay, anyway. Exactly. I mean, we saw turn 2 max in the other game. So, Ursus opened a bit of a weird hand. We've gotten the Chromatographicus out immediately with 3 back row to protect it. We can activate Fiery Blaze to pop. We can set Tribute 2 to summon out Salamander, which means we're not going to be using the skill. I'm curious as to what skill we're on, because we opted to just not use it whatsoever. I mean, I suppose this gets like the whole hand empty. Like, what could an extra card have done? Realistically, if it's a double Tribute monster, it's just going to be stuck in your hand anyway. The only way you do... In fact, I don't think there's literally any individual mill that would have made it any better, so not using the skill definitely the correct play there. We're going to use Ashura Star to start just ripping apart the back row. We did see Tribute to the Doomed and Call of the Earthbound both get popped here. Activate Starry Start. We'll bring back the Juggler and the Fusion. So now we can go ahead and make Hercules, but without Type Change Beam, it's just going to be messing with the graveyard, which does hurt this deck. But, like, not an insane amount. Like, it is still very important to hurt this deck's graveyard, but... Let's see what Ursus has. We're going to summon out Red Robe. Activate the skill. Add back the Flame Ruler. That telegraphs that we have a handful of bosses. We're going to use Flame Ruler Tribute to summon out the Chemicalized Salamander. Walk into the Trap Hole. No, not Trap Hole. Matari and Ashura Start is going to pop another back row, and it's another trap card. Oh dear. Chivalrous Celerity is going to be activated. We are going to attack into Widespread Ruin, which will deal with the Ashura Star. Card Restoration is going to let us draw a hand, which has, it looked like 3 boss monsters in it, which is not looking great. We're then going to summon out Red Robe, activate Fatal Roar. We'll grab back the Ember, which we finally have in rotation. We'll set 2, tribute both to summon out Chromatographicus. Now we can summon out the Ember, tribute it to cheat out a boss monster from our hand and boost its attack. Activate Salamander now that we've filled our graveyard. Looks like Hercules didn't actually end up doing a whole lot here. Card Restoration is going to gain back 800 life points and show us the hand. We will then get in for a chunk of damage, and then we will find lethal with the Pyro deck. Very, very good. Gaia came to me, I want to play... Gaia come to me, I want to play the Gaia matchup. Everyone just wants to play the Gaia matchup. I mean, let's see what's going on at the moment. Who's in a game at the moment? So we have Hikari versus Hip. We have Gibbous versus Shari. Let's jump into a game against whoever. We'll play against Elma, if Elma's up for the game. The thing is, I don't want to like leave people sat on their own in tables, but at the same time, I don't want to like sit on my own table where there's like other people waiting for games. So we'll just jump into wherever there's a free spot. So Elma is probably also on the Gaia deck, so this is probably just going to be like a Gaia mirror, but we'll see what happens there. Tomato, in the box with the Cyburst fusions at the end of Sevens, was Master of Sevens in there, or was it later? Master of Sevens would have been before that? I'm trying to think what was in the box. There was 7 support in there. What wasn't? I mean, I could just look up the box, right? But we have the ability to do so. All right, I'll tell you, we'll do that on the other screen, so we don't have to like see me doing that. All right, let's see what we draw here. Imaginary Reactor is not... This hand isn't, like, ideal. But, like, I guess it could be worse. We'll go Actor. Tribute. Then... Do we just tribute this out? I could get out either. We might be better off going for that. Alright, either way, I think I'm just going to tribute over this. Summon this. Activate Battle Tested. Gonna go for Swift. Summon out Swift. Activate the skill. I will send to the graveyard. I think I'm just going to send Curse here. We'll boost the attack of this. We'll go ahead and add Gaia and Poly. We'll activate the Poly. We'll just get this out immediately. Using this and this. We'll go ahead and activate the effect. I guess I kind of want you back in the deck more than anything else. We'll go ahead and pop this one. We'll summon out the Sword Dancer. Activate Swift Gaia for a draw. That's like the worst draw. Okay, this is fine though. We'll swing with this. Let's see what we've got. So there is a delay, so we are going to see some sort of trap. It is going to be widespread. Okay, that's arguably like the worst thing that could happen. Obviously, we just kind of lost the 33, but like that's still fine. If that attack had connected, that would have been, what, another 2,700 life point damage? Now, I would assume we're about to see Battle Tested come down. Okay, Battle Tested does come down. Unfortunately, we didn't open any back row, so we're probably just going to die here. Which is unfortunate, right? It literally came down to, did Elmaz have the Legend Trap or not? And unfortunately, having the Legend Trap, especially it being a Legend Trap that could pop my guy, is the absolute worst possible case scenario. The one benefit is that we have a Magical Knight on the field and not a Dragon. So, like, we don't get absolutely punished by just a Richer Star. But, like, we're probably taking a crap ton of damage here. Adds Gaia to hand. So the fact we're adding Gaia tells me we have another Cursed Dragon in hand. We actually did open a very similar turn 2 hand to our turn 1 hand. So Polly is going to come down. We'll get rid of both. The question is, I assume we're probably only playing the one Swift. Yeah, so Conqueror's going to come down. Conqueror's a little bit wasted here, just because we can't do anything with it, right? Like, Conqueror doesn't accomplish any goal here. We're not going to pop a back row, and attacking directly is irrelevant. So we'll go ahead and put 4 cards back into the deck. We'll reduce my attack by 14. I mean, we're not dead on board. And another back row. Okay, back row is a little bit scary. But other than that... what is the draw? What is the draw? Okay. Okay. The downside is the card in our hand is completely dead. So... chances are we still just lose here. But you never know. We might get lucky. That is almost as bad as it can get. This is catastrophically bad. I suppose the upside is we have back row, but like that is abysmal top decks. Okay, let's see what we've got. The other sad thing is we've already milled a TSA, and we desperately need our extra deck guys back in the extra deck. So this is looking a little bit yikes. But we'll see what happens there. Which extra deck are we playing here, actually? Because we shouldn't be playing... Yeah, we're playing the wrong deck for this, really. Like, we should be playing... our extra deck should have more copies of Swift Gaia in it. So we need to make a change to that in a minute. Oh, that's fine. You can have that. That one's less fine, so we will stop that one. And that's fine. That's also fine. Activate Celerity, which is also fine. Doesn't really change much. We were always on a 2-turn clock anyway, so like the extra damage is just like super irrelevant. I will allow it. Take the 22. The downside is, obviously, there's a delay, so we know we have a trap card down. So if he gets any back row hate next turn, we're just dead anyway. We need a Battle Tested to do anything. So let's see if we draw one. We drew Battle Tested. Unfortunately, because we've got the wrong extra deck, we can't actually make anything with it. So because we didn't fix the deck before, we'd probably still just die here. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can... So we'll go Calling. I think we do just get rid of you, to be honest. We'll bring you back. Then we'll summon out All-Seeing Harvey. Activate the effect. Take a look at this. It's fusion. Okay, so we can get him for a big chunk of damage. That's kind of it, though. There's nothing beyond that. Having extra bodies on the field doesn't do a lot. So we'll just do this. We will tribute this to summon this. Tribute this to summon this. We'll set this. Activate the skill. Doesn't matter what we dump. We'll boost this, I guess. Again, it doesn't really make a difference. We will then just go straight to battle. I guess we just clear this. And we'll clear over this. Okay. So, we've done what we can here. But again, if this back row gets popped, we are just dead on board, right? So if he just has any way to pop a back row, we are just dead. If we had the correct extra deck, we just go into the second Swift. Then we can use Swift to draw an extra card, as well as get an extra 300 damage. That extra card could be really important. Also, it meant we had the option to clear all of the board, which we probably just take, right? I don't think there's a world in which we don't just wipe the whole board. So, scary back row. Celerity's going to come down. Either way, I think if we don't draw exactly TSA, I don't think we can win this game. Ray is ignoring me, shake my head. Poor Ray. Are you only on one Swift? Yeah, so what we did was we copied the deck list from one to another. We changed the main deck, and we never fixed the extra deck. So we're using the extra deck from the heavy Matarian version in the non-heavy Matarian version. That's a really good draw. Right, so we go calling. We discard. Yes. We only have one monster in hand, which actually sucks. I can activate that, reduce that by 7. That'd be 14. Put it down to 12. I could then attack over for... Does it have to discard a monster? Is that like the... Yeah, it has to be a monster. Come on, game. So I summon that out. We get over for 800 plus the 600 plus the 1000. So that should be lethal. So we summon Curse. Activate Inferno. Pop this. Activate Inferno because we have it. Pop this. Activate Talismanic Seal Array. We put back, what, 1, 2, 3, and then just any normal. I don't think it matters. We just need to make sure we have a normal in there so we can actually use the skill. Celerity, we'll send that. Boost the attack. Let this. Go to battle. Swing over with this. And then swing over with this. Alright, we got there. Even with the wrong extra deck, we found it. We found it. Yeah, GG's, Elmas. GG's. That was actually really close. I think if you had just found any back row hate, I was just straight up dead. There was nothing we could do. Even if we had the correct extra deck, we still would have had to get lucky to have survived there. So for now, we'll take these out, and we'll go ahead and put 3 Swift in. Make sure we have the correct ED going into the next game. That's the first time my music's cut out today. Usually that happens a lot more often, because it thinks we're AFK. Got to say the thumbnail on Brad's latest one. Let's take a look quick. I don't want to react to his video because I think people should go and watch Brad's video. But I do want to see what the thumbnail is, and we'll go and grab it, and then we can show it off. Right, that is pretty good. So we come over here. No! I want to see the thumbnail. No! Why are you doing this to me? Can we see like a nice big version of it? So this is the thumbnail. I love, by the way, Brad does exactly what I do, which is you just like, you save like one like pose of yourself, and then you just reuse it again and again, and you like make it slightly smaller, tweak it a little bit, but it's completely fine. Clown emoji is peak. It's just Mr. Konami. And I like all the fire around it as well. It's so good. It's so good. Just encapsulates the current state of the game. I think this as well, Brad puts a lot more effort into his thumbnails than I do. Like these look like good thumbnails, right? Like if we compare them to mine, we'll get to it from here, right? Like I think just by comparison, mine are like a lot more low effort than Brad's. Like mine, obviously, you know, I focus a lot more on like the anime characters and stuff, but it's a lot of the time it's just me, like vibing. But Brad's like has actual editing. There's like filters on this. There's like special effects put in. It looks really, really nice. But we'll go ahead and link this because everyone should go and watch Brad's video. Brad has just been annoyed since Gaia release, and I'm here for the downward spiral. I mean, we all are, right? We're all here for that downward spiral. Yours have your handsome face, so I prefer yours. I mean, yeah, but there's Brad's handsome face. We can't just forget about Brad's handsome face. What were we doing, actually? We were looking up the box that Manicus wanted to know about. Let's find it quick. Let's just spend a couple seconds finding that. Not that one. It's way before then. No. Secret Ace Overrush Pack. It was the Overrush Pack. So this came out... This came out just after... Is this the one I'm thinking of? Yes. This is the Doomblaze pack? With the Executees? I don't think this is the one I'm thinking of. I think it's the Gold pack. Mega Road pack. The Mega Road pack. Right, so this came out just after... Just after Go Rush came out. This was like the second set after Go Rush came out. So we'll go ahead and get that up here so you can see it. So this is the Mega Road pack, right? So this was a like 7 send-off pack, I guess, is like the best way to think of this. I guess I'll also change this over to this. So this specifically includes cards used by Luke, Yuga Odo, Luke, Otis, Princess G, Roman Cassidy, Mimi, Toombs, and DK. And in case you're wondering who DK is, this is DK. He's the zombie guy. He's a zombie duelist. He's like the other guy other than Toombs that plays zombies. I like how Brad is just in casual clothes and Tomato is all suited up. It's because what I basically do is I will turn the camera on when, like, you know, at some point, just do a whole bunch of faces, and then I'll just go into that, like, pool of faces whenever I need something. It's better than, like, doing a face every single time. But we have Wild Gleam. This is the one we talked about before. This is the, like, the maximum with piercing. We had Sturdy Strike Dragon, Metagear Star F. This was again, when it was new. So this was Luke's fusion. This is the only Luke fusion we don't have that is a Gear Star fusion. Because, like, there are, like... He has, like, Zero Gygeus, but Zero Gygeus isn't a Gear Star, right? So... DK, you mean the guy who's like, YouTube! Fool! Hajime! So we can do it too. We can do it too. But so in here we get like Master of Dark Sevens. So this is where we got this one. So there's Master of Sevens Magic and there's Magician of Dark Sevens, right? So they're two similar name cards. They actually have similar effects as well. This is like the Otis card. So like this card we could get like eventually, right? But we had Darkness Zero Rogue. We got all the Darkness cards. Then what are the other new cards? Magic Curtain. Road Magic Dark Twilight, Darkness Load, Seven's Road Protection, Omega Katana. So this is where we got the Princess G fusions, the Prima Katana fusions. Candy All. This was Candy All's original printing, everyone. Can SPD. Good old Can SPD. Maybe this will come out soon. What else came out that was new? Progress Potter. This was Progress Potter's original release. This card is a menace. This card is actually a menace. Actually a menace. Do you use your thumbnail faces for your dating profiles too? I mean, you know, you got to use something, right? You got to use something. Now that's a good question. SPD Emergency. Ice Pop Bear's original printing wasn't here as well. Amaryllis original printing. Psychic Omega Blast. I can't remember what this card is. I don't think I've ever seen this card before. If your opponent has 2 or more face-up monsters on their field, shuffle 4 Psychics from your graveyard into the deck. Destroy 1 face-up monster with the lowest attack on the opponent's field. Then if you have a face-up Omega Psychic monster on your field, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack of the monster destroyed by this. Right, we'll never get this card. This card inflicts damage. We're never getting it. We're never getting it. Potter! What else is new here? Cross Target, featuring Omega. Dean Keto, the Cooking Master. By the way, guys, this is the only 7's era Dean Keto we don't have, and this one is pretty garbage. Send a card from your hand to the graveyard. Send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. Then if your life points are 2,000 lower, you can gain life points equal to the number of Aqua monsters sent to the graveyard by this effect, times 1,000. So we have to RNG that we mill 3 Aquas. We still have to discard a card, and we'll get between 0 and 3,000 life points. Yeah, Fire Aqua. It's cooking. It's cooking. It's cooking. Underrated. I love Prima Katana in the anime just because it's the only boss monster actually fully animated instead of fugly 3D model. I haven't actually paid attention to that, you know. Here's Brick Phone as well, and Fashion of Faith. This is when these came out. Tiramisu Dark Witch. We still don't have this one yet. And it's Water Aqua, so it's disgusting, right? If it's not Light Aqua, Dark Aqua, Fire Aqua, we don't want it. We don't want it. Water Aqua, gross. We got Frenzied Panda. And, you know, this card would never see play, but, you know, it's whatever. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Is there anything good? Dark Doom Dread Ruler. This is when this card originally came out. We still haven't got the other boss monster yet, though, unfortunately. Yeah, this is it. Cyberstein Frankenstein. We still haven't got him yet. I don't know why we haven't got him yet. He would be fine. He can come to the game. If you have a level 4 or lower zombie-type normal monster in your graveyard during the turn that you normal summon this card, send the card into the graveyard, special summon 2 level 4 or lower zombie-type normal monsters from your graveyard face it to your field. Just brings back 2 normal monsters from the graveyard. It's fine. Let it come out. It's not a bad Aqua, but what good are more life points if you have no monsters to protect your life points against? Exactly. Any cards that would bolster a Blue Eyes deck that we don't have? There are so many. There are actually a ridiculous amount of Blue Eyes cards that we could get. The issue is some of them are really, really good. I think, especially after we've just had the Gaia stuff, they're not going to give us more nostalgia bait for a little bit. So probably like, I don't know, 3 months, they'll probably give us more nostalgia bait. And Blue Eyes is a good option for that, right? So like, they could do that. This was part of Avarice original one as well. Combustion Crisis. Oh, who remembers that card? Trade-In. This was Trade-In's original one. No more Nostalgia Bait for free. I mean, Nostalgia Bait typically is quite easy to get your hands on, right? Like the Harpy stuff was given out for free. The original Blue Eyes run was given out for free. Red Eyes was given out for free. What else did we even have? Heroes was given out, not for free, but like almost for free. Cyber Dragons was given out for free, and then like you had to get the rest of it from a box. Like pretty much all of the Nostalgia Bait. Dark Magician. Yeah, Dark Magician was free for the most part. So like a lot of the nostalgia stuff is quite easy to get your hands on. Let's see if Gibbous wants to play. But, so that being said, I would not be surprised if Blue Eyes got like a structure deck or like another campaign or something. So like, Heroes is free. You got one copy of the hero deck for free, but then you need to buy the other 2. So it's like, any insects in the door room? There was one earlier. I don't know if they're still playing it or not. That certainly is a hand. I mean, I think there's no world in which we don't get this guy out of our hand, right? Gaia in defense. Go, defense mode Gaia. We'll just go ahead, set the whole hand. We will activate our skill. We will just send a curse to the graveyard. Boost the attack of my Gaia. No, I do not want to add cards. And then we will just pass on this. Metarion is so strong at the Mo. Yep, for certain. I mean, at least Pure Metarion got hit a bit because Beam's down to 1, and that's actually quite substantial. Other than that, like, Gaia Metarion is still, like, alive and well. Like, it's still completely fine. Which is not ideal. Not ideal. But it is what it is. It is what it is. These are cards. What do we do with this? I could... Tribute 2, get that out. Use that, get that out. That doesn't do a ton, but it does do stuff. How aggressive do we want to go into triple back row? I mean, I'm not opposed to just going, like, very aggressive. Right, I'm going to click no on this, click yes on this. I'm going to Tribute 1, Tribute 2. We're going to summon this out. No response, so we'll go ahead and activate his effect. That's a bit of an annoying mill, I'm not going to lie. We will get the Swift Gaia out by using this and this. Go ahead and summon out the Swift Gaia. Then... I guess we're going to go ahead and activate Chivalrous Celerity. We will send you back to the bin. Boost the attack. And then I will add cards to my hand. I think from this point, I think it's better off to get you. So we'll grab this. We'll grab this. We'll activate the poly. We'll make this by using this and this. Summon out the Ashura Star. I am going to activate the effect, and I'm going to destroy a monster, I think, here. Then I can activate Monster Cooling. We'll send this to the grave. Draw a card. Then we can summon back a monster from the graveyard. So we'll summon out the Gaia. Not the best draws, unfortunately, but it is what it is. We'll go to battle, and then we'll see what he's got. Right, so there is a delay. Like, we could have popped 2 back row, and then just, like, not got a lot of damage in, but, like, I still think I prefer this play. Okay, 4 cards in hand, so we're going to gain a load of life points. Get him for the 28, and then we'll get him for the 23. Okay, so we did just have the OTK line. Now, obviously, if there was any substantial back row there, we couldn't have killed, right? If there was Slime, we couldn't have killed. If there was Negate Attack, we couldn't have killed. If there was Widespread, we couldn't have killed. Like, so much that could have stopped us. We did just kind of YOLO that, but it just goes to show, right? Bricks, what can I say? Yeah, I mean, what can you do from that perspective, realistically? Realistically. No Meta Fusion card for insects. Dragon Sadness. Yeah, unfortunately, we do not... There aren't good... I don't think there are any insect fusions until Delirium. And then, like, the Chaos and Insects, but they're all, like, super, super modern. After playing Pure Metarion, I'd say TCB at 1 isn't really worth running. It comes up too infrequently. The question is, are you able to win consistently, or at least be in a commanding position, without the TCB? Because if you're not, it's kind of whatever, right? But if you can, then it might not matter so much. And maybe super was too strong of a word, but it does well. Yeah? I mean, 100%, 100%. Alright, is there anything else that's kind of spicy we want to check out before we are... This looks spicy. This also looks spicy. God, there's so much interesting testing stuff going on. Alright, let's take a look at Ursus versus Hikari. 2 players that were both in top 100 at different points over the GRF. 2 players that have both won a handful of tournaments each. So 2 very, very skilled players. Let's see what happens when they clash. So Ursus probably is going to continue to be on his Pyro deck. Hikari, on the other hand, is going to be on something a bit different. So we're going to see Fatal Roar come down. Oh. Oh. Wait. What happened here? We activated Fatal Roar. Why didn't we add, like, Red Robe? Did I miss something here? It was a misclick. If there was a strategic reason for that, I don't know what it was. But unfortunately, milling the Widespread does not help. So Dragon's Inferno is going to come down. We're going to pop a back row, which hits a really good back row. We are not going to get the effect of Illusion Strike Dragon Mirror Gears off. So we mill 3 again. Chemicalize Salamander. Activate the effect. Reduce. Swing over. So this is going to turn on like half of the skill. Dragon's Inferno is going to come down. Pop the back row. Add the fusion. Summon out Phoenix Dragon. Which, if we're on Phoenix Dragon, that means that we can't be on Negate Attack. That's pretty big. Summon, activate Fusion, and that's just going to be it. That is unfortunate. I'm curious as to, again, why we didn't take a card back. But again, it might have just been a misclick. Or it might have been something I just don't understand. There was something else that caught my eye. Where was Xeno? Yeah, Xeno. We want to check out Xeno with his newly unlimited Magnum Overlord. Let's take a quick gander. Let's see what's going on. I'm trying Phoenix plus Widespread. I think that is a good shout. Especially since I think Widespread is especially good against dragons. Like, it's really good into exactly dragons. Right, so this is Gibbous versus Xeno. So this should be the Amusi Gaia versus... I mean, Overlord. It's the Overlord skill. This is actually a really cool idea. We can play Cyber Dragon in the Magnum Overlord deck. That's cool. Pyro takes back 1500 defense. Oh, right. Thank you, Manicus. Thank you for clearing that up. That's just me having a brain fart. Tomato excited to see Magnum Overlord. What is this meta done to him? It's less like excited about seeing that card specifically and more excited to see something that's different. And thank you for the follow, Spack Moose. That's something I didn't think I'd be saying today. And that's a follower goal, Matt, so it's probably going to make a lot of noise in a sec. Oh, my ears. I need to, like, work out how to make that quieter. But we'll do it one of these days. So we are going to be fusing together our monsters. Swift Guy is going to come down and hit the board. Chivalrous Celerity is going to be activated, boosting the attack. And we will be adding the Curse of Dragon and the Polymerization spell to hand. So now we will go ahead and activate Polymerization. We will fuse our monsters together from hand. And out here is going to be the Conqueror of Champions. Conqueror of Champions effect. We're going to put a card back. We're then going to attack directly for that 26. And then we are going to get in. That is applying a lot of pressure, getting us down to 800 life points. Now, this is sort of where Magnum Overlord wants to be. So you never know. This might be fine. But it looks like we don't have it. What we do have is a Cyber Twin Dragon. Activate Pot of Avarice. This lets us refill our deck. It's very slowly. We're going to set 2, activate the skill, discard the Overlord, reduce the attack, flip over the other Overlord. So we had drawn out all 3 middle pieces and nothing else, which is not ideal. Monster Calling. So chances are we have a Magnum piece in hand and we've just put a card to the top of our deck. That's going to get milled, which is going to mess with our plan, unfortunately. But Gibbous is running low on cards in the deck. Very, very low on cards in the deck. Chivalrous Celerity, we are going to boost the attack up. We're going to use the effect, which does mill again. Negate Attack is going to come down and protect us. We might just be able to, like, stall this out. Like, we're going to be drawing 4 cards per turn. We need to mill at least once. Yeah, so now, all of our cards are turned off. We need a card to put cards back in our deck, or we can't play the game. Because we can't activate Battle Tested Gaia. Yeah, so we could have done 400 damage if we had attacked the other one, but we can't even activate the skill because we have no normal monsters to send. If we could have activated the skill, then we do just win the game there. But unfortunately, we just did not have any cards in deck. My idea is that the skill lets us play Cyber Dragon, so I'm running a Cyber Dragon Fusion package. I mean, it makes sense, and I think it's a really cool idea. I have to go, thank you for the room and the stream. Well, that is something else that we have in common, because I also have to go. It's 4 o'clock. We've already kind of run over our time here. But this is all that we have time for today. Unfortunately, it looks like no one is streaming Rush specifically, but we will go ahead and raid into How. Because How is a really nice guy. How plays a lot of speed. He has dabbled in Rush a little bit, but he is not a big Rush guy. So hopefully everyone can go in and say hello to him. But we've had a great time today. We've had a really good time streaming, and we will be back again on Sunday. And Sunday will be Yapping because we always chat. We'll always be talking about rush no matter what, and probably talking a little bit about speed, but primarily it's going to be capture monsters. We're going to be playing more capture monsters on Sunday, so I hope that anyone that wants to come and just hang out does that. So, hello and goodbye, Victor. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
What are we looking at, or are we looking at some other ones?